Good morning, traders. How we doing out there? Who's ready to get it started? We're ready to get back into this market. And like always, guys, the market's going to be moving around fast. I got an exciting interview today towards the bell. We'll be taking a look at, dare I say, an Olympic gold medalist, at least in our Olympic golds, of course. We'll be talking to Mustafa coming up in a little bit, guys. But first, of course, we get to the playbook. We'll take a look at a couple of different stocks and a surprising one there. Let's get to it. I know Tim will be excited to hear about this one. Let's get to today's playbook. All right, first up on today's playbook, we'll talk a little bit about Disney, of course, as they reported their earnings, and they're actually down on this earnings report, which is surprising to me because there's a couple of things that are really good mentions and good things to think about on the fundamental side. Of course, the parks are struggling, so maybe that's what you're seeing here. But I think there was some really good mentions also in their changing of Disney Plus. I'm seeing now channels probably being added. And we're also seeing an increase in pricing. Yes, this could cause some subscribers to unsubscribe, but I think when you start to bring the channels into it, that's really what Disney needs to do. At the end of the day, the everyday shows need to be on Disney Plus. Plus, you need to have that content. Now I'm looking for a surprise move to the upside. So let's take a look at the stock really quickly. As you guys can see this is down there towards the 88, actually a low of 86.30 this morning, back to a high on the bounce to 90.90. So you got to get through that 91 first, start to reclaim, especially yesterday's closing price. That's what you want to kind of be looking. And really, I'm looking to see if we can get back to this pre-market high on the first pop on the report of an EPS beat that we'll talk about in the Sunrise report was a 95. So let's see if we can work back there. And of course, this is all going to be if the market can continue to have that rally, right? If the market just starts dropping, well, forget Disney because everything will probably start dropping too. Let's get to the second one on the report this morning. We'll talk a little bit about NVIDIA. And I'm thinking about, like I said yesterday, and I'm going to continue trying to tackle it. I didn't do too bad yesterday, but of course it continued to rise. I think that there's going to be a real collapse in NVIDIA. And the reason why I think that is we're starting to see more and more delays of the AI chip. And with that being mentioned, that's the reason why NVIDIA is where it's at, right? Because it's gotten that demand. And I think at some point, this hype is going to die out in NVIDIA. I think about it in terms of like different hype stocks in the past, right? Like, let's think about it like in a Zoom. It had the perfect environment where the demand was high, and then all of a sudden demand deteriorated. Was this what's going to happen with NVIDIA? I don't know, but something that's for certain. I'll be watching to see if I can trade it, right? That's what matters to me here. So I'm looking to see what happens here. Now that we're back above the 106, and you guys can see we're right towards the 9 EMA. Rejecting that could easily get us right back towards the 95. So yes, there's like about a $4, maybe $5 risk here, but there's potential $10 on the reward side. So the 2-to-1 outlook looks good here on NVIDIA. We'll see what happens with NVIDIA if it does get the breakdown. Let's go to the third one here, which is the XLE. And I'm looking for upside in oil, but really what we need to look for is a shake in any area because recession talks will bring energy down, right? But another thing that could happen here is more unrest, right? More war situations, and that would bring this spiking higher. We'll see what happens in the XLE here, but take a look at the chart. This has taken a quick dip here, right back down towards a long-term support. So continue to watch this. Now, I tell you guys to take a look at this on more of a monthly chart because we can see how the ascending triangle has been holding in here. Now we just need to see if it holds this support. Right? Can it hold that monthly support of 85.97, so pretty much 86, and start working its way back to 96? We'll find out, guys. This one's tight channel, tight ascending triangle here on the monthly. Let's see which way it breaks, to the downside or the upside. We can play it both ways. We'll find out what happens here. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the playbook this morning. Like always, guys, the playbook's all about strategic outlook. It's going to bring in sometimes a pattern like the XLE, ascending triangle. And then sometimes we're just going to be thinking about things in more of a psychological or bringing different factors in. The best plays, of course, are going to be ones that we can combine some variables, right? Like story, fundamentals, technicals, and don't forget the overall market. Those are my big four variables always to focus on. Let's get over to the sunrise report and see what we can come up with today. All right, team, let's get it started as the stocks are back in that upswing. Of course, the CME Fed tool now indicating a strong likelihood of a half-point rate cut in September, followed by an aggressive easing that could reduce the Fed's short-term borrowing rate by 2.25 percentage points by the end of next year. The current target, of course, between 5.25 and 5.5. This is something that we definitely need to take a look into. And I'll tell you what, I'm in the camp of trying to buy a house, and I haven't been buying a house because of the interest rates where they're at. So if they want to cut them, really, I won't be mad. But something tells me that it's not going to happen. It's just too much of a given now. But of course, we'll see what happens with that. I think we all need to start taking a look. The market is pricing it in. And I think that that's another thing to think about. The market loves to think what? Couple months out in advance. Some people say 6 months. Some people say 3 months. I think this kind of turns depending on how the market's moving. We'll see what happens here. Let's take a look at the market movers today. As of course, we'll go to our first earnings stock here. We got, of course, Super Microcomputer, SMCI. And of course, I was looking at this one just recently when we were starting to get an up move, and it looked like it was going to break out back to 1,000. And boy, oh boy, look at it, guys, plunging 13%. Fourth quarter earnings here, missing the analyst expectation. This came in at $6.25 versus an $8.07 expected. Yeah, really off here, right? And so that's what really caused the algos to really kind of hit it there. Revenues of $5.31 billion versus $5.3 billion expected. Gross margins dropped 11.2% from 17% year over year. Stock split, though, announced for a 10-to-1 stock split effective on October 1st. That's when I can start looking at this company. Outlook right here on Q1, revenues to $6 billion to $7 billion, beating the estimate. So keep watch to see if they can beat that Q1 estimate, move into the stock split. Maybe this stock can turn things around. Supermicro noted that it continues to experience record demand for new AI infrastructure, and of course, more AI talk. But something tells me all this AI talk and fundamentals and these earnings reports, it's not getting the love that it used to get. And very quickly, I'm telling you guys, AI is becoming a commodity. Just a feature that you can have included, but really, does it drive the bottom line? That's what I always talk about. Let's get to the next one here as we continue towards Airbnb. And of course, I've been hearing it from Airbnb owners. It's been difficult to have an Airbnb now in 2024 compared to, let's say, before the pandemic. Airbnb shares dropped 14% after hours trading after the company reported second quarter earnings that missed the analyst expectation. But the biggest concern here, a warning of a slowing demand for U.S. customers. Here's the breakdown, guys. 86 cents per share versus a 92-cent expected. Revenues came in at $2.75 billion versus a $2.74 billion expectation. Demand slowdown is where the concern really comes in. They guided Q3 revenue between $3.67 billion and $3.73 billion, with moderation in growth for nights and experiences. Despite these concerns, Airbnb reported its highest second quarter results for the night and experiences booking and continued growth across all regions, particularly in Asia and Latin America. US is where they're seeing that warning really kind of play in. So let's keep moving. Let's get to, of course, the House of Mouse, as I like to call it, or we'll kind of keep a watch to see what happens here. But of course, Disney reporting their fiscal Q3 earnings above the expectation. Let's take a look at the numbers here. $1.39 adjusted beat the $1.19 expected. 23.16 billion beat the 23 billion expectation on revenues. Streaming profits combined and turned a profit for the first time here, as subscribers in Disney Plus were up was 1% to 118.3 million. Hulu subscribers up 2% to 51.1 million. And the parks, guys, this is what really kind of hit them, right? The U.S. parks are impacted by slowing demand and inflation. International parks income up 2%. But the truth is, I mean, is it really impacted by the inflation? It might be impacted by your super high cost, but we won't get into that, because trust me, I've looked into going to Disney. It is insane, that cost. Disney entertainment segment drove the earnings, of course, 4% here. Drove the earnings with a 4% revenue increase to 10.58 billion, largely due to subscription revenue growth from Disney Plus. Now, other mentions on Disney are, of course, they're trying to shift some things, trying to bring some channels to their Disney Plus. And of course, we got to continue to watch their sports segment as they're going to compete for those NBA kind of mentions. We got to see what happens there. What will they be able to do with those NBA licenses, right? Going into 25. We'll see what happens that. And to tell you the truth, I think one of the interesting parts is the separation, right? Disney Plus and Hulu separating from ESPN and pretty much a different segment. Why? Because they're seeing that slowing segment of ESPN where it's the cable, right? That is not the growth in the market in media, right? The growth is in the streaming side. So they separated these, and they're doing that to make themselves look better, because ESPN is slowly dying and Disney Plus and Hulu are here to stay. We'll see what happens. Let's move over now to Shopify, guys. Let's get over to Shopify, as they're reporting here on a nice big beat on the EPS. And that's always going to help things out. You know, not going to be too bad when you're going to go ahead and beat here on the EPS. But the big thing is a nice little jump, a nice day to report, right? Sometimes it just depends on the day that you're reporting. But EPS here at 13 cents and 12 cents estimate. Revenues at 2 billion versus a 2.01 billion estimate. So not a bad move here for Shopify, really getting the jump though. So this morning I will be watching Shopify to see if it can continue the lift. We'll look to see what happens there on any pullback. Let's get to the next one here as we go over to Upstart, or as I like to use to call it, downstop. But we'll see what happens here, guys. Earnings actually doing good here. I mean, relatively good. Let's talk a little bit about that, right? So the earnings and the EPS came in here at a loss of 17 cents versus the loss of 39-cent estimate. So at least you beat that, but it's still in the losses, right? So just to mention there, revenues at 128 million versus 124.54 million estimate. The outlook here for Q3 does see Q3 revenues going towards 150 million versus 124.5 million. So really nice guidance here, I think, is really causing the stock to rally on these positive results and strong guidance. Last one up here, of course, it wouldn't be nothing other than a partnership with Tesla. Sunrun, one that we've been keeping a close eye on because the stock has been trading well. And I've talked about seasonal runs in solar during this time. Better than expected Q2 financial results and a new partnership with Tesla here. EPS coming in at 55 cents versus a loss of 31-cent estimate. Revenues of 523.866 million versus a 515.16 estimate. Partnership with Tesla is to support the Texas power grid with an aggregated power program. This partnership has already more than 150 Sunrun customers and aims to increase the electricity reserves on the grid during high consumption periods. And we all know what happened with Texas during the winter grid situation, right? Where the grid completely went down and everybody was going crazy in Texas. And it was all based on the grid not having enough energy at those high consumption periods. So Run is trying to go ahead, and Sunrun's trying to help that get some power back to the grid in certain situations. Is this a monster partnership? By no means necessary. But whenever you go ahead and you deal with a bigger company, like a small one dealing with a company like Tesla, or like, let's say, a small company dealing with a company like Apple, that's going to definitely raise the stock price. A lot of attention will be on Sunrun today. But that's going to be all for today's Sunrise Report. Like always, stay tuned for more updates and market insights throughout the week. That's what we do here on the Sunrise Report, is giving you guys a quick outlook on why certain stocks are moving and why they got the lift. As we can clearly see, some earnings reports getting a really nice push today. And it's just a decent environment day to report, right? If this was on, like, let's say Monday morning, probably none of these stocks are up. But we'll see what happens here, guys. Definitely something to watch. We'll see if maybe Disney can get the lift. Now it's time to get to the live trading action. And in a few minutes, we'll be going towards an interview. So stay tuned, guys. We got a lot more for you guys. It's right here. Trade the Pool live. Let's time to get it started and get to the live trading side. What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? I'm super excited to go ahead and get today's show started. Let's take a look at the market. Let's see what we can find. And of course, in just a few minutes, we'll get to our interview. We'll be going towards 9:15. I'll make sure to have it down before the bell, and we'll get ready for some trading action. Smash the like. We got a lot to take a look at in this market. Let's see what we can come up with. What are you guys taking a look out there, traders? Let's go ahead. Let's see what we got. All right, guys, as you guys can see, I brought my trade ideas scanners back here, guys. So we're going to go ahead and use them to kind of find some gappers and different trades and different screens that I have available to me. Of course, I'll have some other scanners that we can take a look at. You guys see them right above me. I got, of course, my platform, Trade the Pool charts over here. And then, of course, I'll throw some scanners back behind me. But hey, like always, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more access to all my screens. We'll be working on that. Let me know what you want to see more of, right? I think it's so important to kind of note that, right? So let me know, guys. What do you want to see more or less of? Do you guys want more scanners? Do you guys want more charts up during when we're trading? Because the truth is, I do this for you guys, right? I have enough screens and enough things to take a look at. I want to know what you guys want to see. Is it more just maybe just scanners, and you guys just want like a nice big kind of screen with scanners? And that can change between these, right? You guys see me use my Stream Deck all the time while I'm doing the Sunrise Report. So I got a lot more for you guys, and I'm going to keep bringing some more to the stream. Let's get to the trading action and see what we can find today. Of course, the XLE already getting a spike. Money Mitch taking a look at it. Well, there you go. Already kind of pushing a little bit there. We'll see what happens with Shop today. Shop up there to 64.20s. What a rock and roll type of move. We'll see what happens with this one. And of course, if you guys have any stock that you guys have on the radar, throw it up in the chat. We'll keep looking out there. Upstart up there to 29.63. And I'm going to take a look to see how this affects a firm. You guys can see how a firm is starting to go up on this. And I think a lot of this is just basic sympathy play in the space, right? So we'll see what happens with this one. And I was also looking to see what happened with Carvana on the downside. And you guys can see it. That's up there. It stopped me out yesterday. We'll see if this one comes down today. It's had a nice run, right? So we'll see what happens with a lot of these. There's still a lot to take a look at, and you guys can see it on the scanners, Shop and Upstart there. So some of the best moves on that. Let's take a look at Run. Of course, Sunrun, been one that we've been looking to see if it can take 18. If it can't take 18 with a Tesla partnership, it's never going to do it. So at this point, I'm feeling confident that, yeah, you got the move towards 18, but you also want to see the leader take the move, right? Which is First Solar. So First Solar is the leader in the space. So in my eyes, I'm looking to see if First Solar can recover, because it did take a really good hit on Monday, back down to 195. Can this recover coming back towards the 230s? One, definitely to keep the radar on. And if you see First Solar taking a big rip, maybe Run just follows, or maybe Run takes lead here because of the catalyst. That can happen. But right now, got up there towards 1895, almost undercutting the 18 right now. So we got to take a look to see if this is the time to get it. I think the biggest thing right now is just really the overall market, right? Let's be honest. That's what's going to matter here. If we take a look at the hourly, we're right back towards these hourlies where you got kind of some support, and now you've got to be rejecting the hourlies, right? So rejection here on Tuesday of this 529.75. Rejection this morning towards 529s. Can you get above the 530 and start working your way back there? Is going to be so important, because if not, you still have a downward trend line where you have this, right, that we can come back to. This is that red line. If you come back to there, you can easily just wipe out that push right back. I think this is clearly one of those days where what happened yesterday, I was part of this camp, right? So part of yesterday is what I saw was they came after the shorts, right? I was short too, got ripped, right? And I think that a lot of traders were getting short yesterday and expecting that quick move back down, right? We didn't get it. So now we need to take a look to see if it comes and follows through after that. A lot of times what you'll get is those shorts get stopped out on the way up, right? Actually helping the buying action, right? Because they're stopping out and causing that action to actually go higher. And now we need to take a look to see if the bulls stop buying, will the bear action come back to the market? So does that make sense, right? And you guys in the chat, let me know what you guys are thinking about this, right? Because we all need to be thinking about this today. So if the bull action slows down, will the bear action come back in? That's what we're going to be paying attention to today. We'll see what happens there. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there, guys? Jane, how we doing? My trade this morning was LUMN. Of course, LUMN. I know you're on that one, Jane. Rivian, also on the list. Yeah, we'll take a look at Rivian. We can take a look at Dell. We can take a look at plenty of different names, a lot of names out there with earnings. Good list there that we can take a look at. Definitely can take a look at some of these. Rivian and Dell, I'll definitely keep watch. And Yaz, what's up? How things going, Yaz? I wish you the best. All right, guys, let's keep going. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Let's see what we can find here in the market today. Of course, going to continue to watch to see what happens in the kind of the interest rate situation. That's what we got to keep watch. Q's coming back here. I'll see if NVIDIA starts to crack. There's still hourly resistance here. We kind of came back through this level yesterday. Now we need to look to see if we kind of take out that high, especially from Tuesday, 107.71, back through that level. And yes, I'm not looking to short it, but you start to cut back down through a trend line. And yes, I'm going to be looking to take these because eventually one trade can pay back the losses. That's the important thing of having a good risk to reward, is that one trade can get it back. And a lot of times you're going to get stopped out, and then the trade's going to go in your favor. So with that mentioned, we have to make sure that we're keeping the losses small enough so that when we get that nice win, we also can recuperate those losses and get some gains, right? Because that's what we're here for. We're here to get that money, right? Let's keep getting after it, guys. It's good to see you guys in the chat and all you guys joining in right now, whether you're in on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Like always, guys, we put this out on a lot of different platforms. So if you guys want to join the main chat's over there on the YouTube side of things. And stick around. We got a great interview coming up, guys. So smash the like. It's going to be a great show today, as we'll get Mustafa joining us soon enough to talk a little bit about how he got the gold, baby. Talk a little bit about that coming up, guys. Definitely smash the like. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's see what we can find today, guys. A lot of action out there. My internet's a little bit unstable there, guys. Let me know, guys, if you guys see me start to cut out a little bit. Make sure to get my internet rolling here again. I see about 2 bars there, but hey, if my internet starts dropping, let me know, guys. All right, looking good here, guys. We got to take a look to see what else makes a move here, but let's go looking at some of these. Let's go to looking at Rivian and Dell. Rivian, not too bad of a stock, of course. Just I think it's a bad environment to report right now. And why? Well, Tesla's on the downturn, guys. I talk about it all the time with auto manufacturing. It's crazy how Tesla runs the boat, right? When Tesla's down, well, I expect the others to follow. Ford went up there, and guess what happened? Ford's back to $9, man. What a short up there at the 1443s. Man, that was a good little turnaround call on that one. Not a bad one at all. GM, we'll take a look there. Look at that. Right back down, right? A lot of this, right, is based on Tesla coming down. And so I'll continue to watch that. Rivian probably keep coming down until Tesla changes tune. So with that mentioned, we'll continue to see if Rivian can take a little bit of a bounce. But if anything, I'd be betting on continued leak unless you see Tesla really rip back. I mean, Tesla, even on 2 days where you were getting a big pushback, I mean, you're just back to 200. You're not where you were up there towards, like, say, 270s, 280s just recently. You did come back here to get an attempt back towards where you broke out from. That's going to be levels where Tesla will continue to watch. But be careful, right? Because one down move and you're back down below this 170 into the 150 and 100. Man, if Tesla goes into double digits, I wonder how investors would react. We'll see what else is out there, guys. Definitely smash the like. A lot more for you guys to take a look at this morning. We'll see what else is out there. Let's take a look at Dell. Dell has been making a big run as of late, but then now turned around fast. And look at this, guys. It was looking like it wanted to do a little bit of a cup and handle. It rejected that move right here at the 150. And ever since then, it's been on the decline. So just as much as Dell went up, we're almost back down towards where we started the year. This thing went up for the year 132%. And now it's only up maybe 17%. That's not good news, guys. This could reclaim back all those gains for the year. And that's not what we want to see here, right? So we'll see what else is out there, guys. Definitely smash the like. A lot more for you guys to take a look at this morning. Jane, what are you looking at? The show is the best AM show for you. Hey, that's what I like to do, man. At the end of the day, I like to take a look at different areas and focus on sectors, industries, talk about things. And if there's something you want to talk about in this space, always drop it in there because I'm here to try to help you guys. That's what I'm all about. Let's keep moving, guys. View SPY, sir. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the SPY. We just talked about it, but the truth is with the overall market, it's just a tough one here, guys. We were looking to see if we would fill in these gaps. We filled it, right? And then we went and then some, right? So there was this gap here that started to hold. And if you look at the monthlies, that's how you'll approach here a lot of the times. Look how the 9 EMA kind of held there. Until that breaks, that's when really we start to see disaster, like we saw it in 2020, like we saw it when it was coming down in the 22, when we started to trade below that 9 EMA on the monthly. That's a real sign of concern. The 9 EMA on the monthly is what? 513s. We're ways away from there, right? We got there at 510s on that Monday. Did we come back and take out that low? That's going to be the sign of concern. Where can we come back to the upside? Well, it still makes sense to maybe get to the 9 EMA, 533, and then see the downturn, right? We'll see what happens. Is this just a rampant move right back up? Is it just going to be another what we call V bottom where the stock comes like this and then all of a sudden we're thinking, oh no, it's not going to come right back, and then we're right back above towards 570s. You can see we've had plenty of V bottoms in the past, right? So you see here, bottom action, right back up, right? I've seen so many V bottoms in the SPY. So to say that there's no such thing as a V bottom, I think you must be smoking one. I'll just say it like that because, I mean, just look at this, guys. There's always V bottoms in the SPY, right? Always V bottoms. And that's just how it goes. and they're quick moves back. They don't give you a chance. There's no consolidation at the bottom there. These are fast moves back. So no sideways consolidation there and then a move back, right? It's a quick push up, sideways, continuation. That's what we need to look for now. So quick move up. Do we get the sideways trade and then continuation on the upside? That's still a possibility. I always like to look at scenarios in two ways, the bulls and the bears. Because if I only look at it in one way, then I only have scenario analysis for one way, one direction. That's not going to help me. I need to know here, hey, what will the bulls be looking at? What will the bears be looking at? And then how am I trading the price action that's happening today? Out there, guys, smash the like. Let's keep going. Well, I'm stuck in a Sava trade, and that's not good. Holding out for Thursday's press release. And Sava, man, Jane, I think you heard me mention it here, how I was scared of this company, because it just seems like there's ups and down moves in this company. Of course, there were some bad players, right? So we'll see what happens here. But definitely not an area that I definitely want to be stuck in. Biotechs are very hard to come back up to certain levels. So now this starts to wash out and it's very difficult to hold, right? If you got in there close to 40, you're already down 30% on this name. And that's just very hard to get around. So whenever you're trading biotechs, understand that they're like this all the time. Go up 161%, go down 74%, right? Go up here, up 110%, go down 42%, and then gap down 72%, right? So then another move higher here, 298, and now it could go down another 70%. Maybe back down towards 1320s, right? And so you got to be careful with Sava. You got to be careful with biotechs overall. I can tell you this is the one area I try my best to stay away from swing trades, is in the biotech space, because the truth is they do these swings all the time. And it's too much volatility a lot of times for one trader to hold and get through. All right, guys, smash the like. I do see my internet kind of a little bit shaky today, so I'm going to try to close down some windows here. That should maybe help here. Like always, guys, smash the like. We got a lot more for you guys. You guys see the playbook right there, guys. The playbook. We do it every single morning, guys. Smash the like. All right, just closing up some windows here, trying to make sure that everything's going to run smooth here. In a little bit, we'll be getting towards our interview here. Smash the like out there, guys. We got a lot more for you guys. Shop, shop, shop. What happened there? Let's go to some of the cheaper names, and we can take a look at some of these. GTHX. GTHX. Let's take a look here. $7 trying to continue the lift this morning. Was up there. This one popped on kind of a big. This was maybe earnings or something. I'm not sure exactly what happened to this GTHX. I got to go looking into my Benzinga Pro, but we'll just keep moving, guys. Let's take a look at some other ones. LUMN. I know that's one that's on the radar. It is recovering right now. In the after hours, it's made a huge move. Yesterday, it wasn't that bad. It held the VWAP move twice. So I'll be looking for VWAP moves to hold, right? So we got a nice drive there towards 9, and now we're starting to go sideways. And look at the hourly. Hourlies have a nice support test that you went down there towards 624s. Now you recovered this support, which is the 660. That's kind of the area that I'd look for on pullbacks right now to kind of hold. Wouldn't want to see that kind of break, and really need to start seeing a move back above, let's say 780s, $8, if this is going to make its way back there towards 964. We'll see what happens there, guys. Smash the like. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, let's keep going. Nate H, how's Snapchat looking? Longer term. Longer term, Nate, I actually hate Snapchat, man. That's just because I've always hated Snapchat, man. I think this is a company that will disappear in probably like a year or two, right? Because the truth is that the only thing that got Snapchat back up there was some advertising changes where they started to make some money. Overall, I don't like Snap. I think this is going to snap off of the exchanges, and you won't see it in a couple of years. And I think that overall, I even remember when this company first IPO'd, it was supposed to come out at $30, and then it eventually came down. It is not looking good for this company, and I don't think they're going to change anything around. I don't think they can save the business. And to tell you the truth, it surprises me that Meta is where it is. It's only up there. I think a lot of the reason why is because of AI and advertising. If it's not because of Facebook, I really don't think Facebook even has that growth. And that's where even Twitter struggles, because the growth is there in Twitter, but it's not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be in all of these social medias. The truth is, there's only a big enough pie of people, right? And majority of people have access to internet. At some point, the growth slows down for these social medias. And for me, Snap is not one that I'd want to be in, and neither is Pinterest, right? PINS. None of these I'd want to be in, especially social media stocks overall. Like, that's just not the area to be in. Even like, let's say like a Rumble. I know I'll probably get some hit out there from the conservatives for that, but I call it how I see it, man. And I wouldn't want any of these social media platforms on the long run. Martine, the hater in the house. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's keep it going. All right, guys, we got a lot more for you guys. Let's keep seeing what we can come up with today. There's still more to take a look at here. How's Upstart doing on that move? We're towards 29.75. Can this one keep rocking and rolling? Affirm climbing off of that report. We'll look to see if that can continue to run. And today, growth stocks should be getting a little bit of a lift. Can they stay lifting, right? So keeping a close eye on SARK, ARK, to see if this is going to start coming back. Remember, SARK has come back all the way almost to the 9 EMA. So giving us an opportunity to go after Kathy. We'll see what happens. ARKK trying to come back. Will we get some bullish action today? Keep a look out there, guys. I'm looking around to see what else is up big. In retail, I'm seeing Wayfair up today. We'll see what happens there. Wayfair getting a little bit of a push up. Specialty retail. I think that has to do with more shop giving a little bit of a lift in the industry and giving that nice little push. So look to see if Amazon is getting a little bit of a push on this. Are they buying Amazon off of that shop? Well, you guys can see it here. It is getting a nice little push. We'll look to see if Amazon can continue riding high. All right, guys, smash the like out there, guys. We'll see what's also on the down gap there. That's one thing that I think I need to do a little bit more too, is I don't mind shorting names. So let's go take a look at Airbnb right now, trading up there towards 113 on a bounce, but this is down from 130, right? So we'll see what happens out there. Definitely going to continue to watch to see what happens on Airbnb, if we can get back there towards the 115. But they gave the warning, and that warning should affect the airlines today. So I'm looking to see if this actually starts to play in here. Man, oh man, Delta is down there towards 38. I still remember when I was trying to short this thing at $52. It's down there to 38. That's an 18% move down, and could see some more downside action. UAL down big too. It doesn't look good here in the space, and this could actually turn around the cruise trade, right? The cruise trade has been turning around fast, and with continued downside mentions, it doesn't look good. You can take a look to see if the lodging starts to really take a hit, like Hilton, like let's say Booking, right? Booking's down a pretty good amount already. This is down about 15% from the highs, right? So we'll see what happens if these can continue to take a hit, but it looks like travel slowing down, and that could be also continued downside for XRT, right? Looking for this to get maybe back to the 75s, and then we can look to see if we get the downside to continue. ANF is one that has been bouncing that could also be a good short, right? We'll see what happens on these kind of department stores in action out there. I see Macy's also one that could come right back down here to where it came from, where it was at $11. So, hey, we'll see what happens on Macy's to see if it starts to get hit there. JWN up there. What about DDS, man? Will this thing ever come down? Dillard's is just an absolute beast, man. Someday I feel like Dillard's is going to come down, but right now it's not it, man. I'm always blown away by this company. SMCI now at 532, And this chart looks broken, man. This chart doesn't look like it's coming back right now. This chart could be all the way back down towards this resistance here, 500 today. We'll see if it gets after it, but definitely right here when we were looking for it, and I was looking for it too. I was one of them, and we were looking for that pop back towards the 1,000. We got a nice pop. It got there towards 963, and ever since that day right here, oh boy, did they sell out there. And you can see a nice volume there, and you can see as it came back down, declining volume, and now you're definitely getting some profit taking on the downside. But that's not too bad, as this is down there to 530s, and you're talking about what, a 73% move. So we'll see what happens there. Really kind of declining fast there in SMCI. All right, in a second we'll go over to Mustafa. Guys, let's keep going. Small cap is possible. Are you trying to take a look at some small caps? Is that what the comment is? I know LUMN is one of those, definitely to keep watch. Serve is going down today. We'll take a look to see what happens with this one. It was declining in the pre-market at 7. Now coming back here towards the 16. This one was rocking and rolling all over the place. Yesterday was trying to make the move there towards 18. We'll see what happens on this one. And for the penny names, we'll keep watch. CZMD. This is another one that's down there. We'll see how this one kind of performs. This one was at 109. Got up there to the $2 this morning. Big gap up there. And this other place, we'll keep watch. I'll tell you what, I have a lot of scanners that I'll be bringing up here. We'll be doing some volume ones. We'll be doing some thrust. So you'll be able to see some of these small caps or some of the bigger moves. I'll have those right here where the pre-market scanners are once we get towards the open. All right, guys, it's about 9:13. It's time to get to our our interview for today, guys. I'm super excited to go ahead and talk about a Olympic gold winner here. Let's bring on Mustafa himself and let him tell us about the victory that happened, of course, in the Trade the Pool Olympics. Let's bring him on. How we doing today, Mustafa?
Hey, man. Pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, man. It's great to have you on the show today, and I'm super excited to hear about your experience, of course. And it was really fun to just trade in the Olympics. Now I want to know, of course, how we were able to get it. Did you enjoy the Rule the Pool Olympic experience? Tell me about it.
I did, very much so. You know, I usually watch your show. It's kind of surreal now. I'm on the show now.
Heck yeah, man. Welcome to it.
Thanks, man. I'm very humbled to be here. Thanks for having me on. And in fact, you know, when I did the competition, in the previous one, I placed 22nd. You had about like 3,700 people. And then I was kind of upset that I didn't make it to the top 10. And I promised myself that I would, in the next one, I would definitely make it to the top 10. And then when I found out about the Olympics, I immediately signed up. But first place, I was kind of surprised as well. So,
yeah, man, first place, and it was a hard one too, right? It wasn't a small little profit there. You had a couple of different trades going into the green. You can't be mad about that. And welcome to the show. Just like I tell everyone out there, guys, at the end of the day, the door's open. You guys can always come on. Reach out to me. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Maybe it's strategy. Maybe it's something that you're seeing working in the market. Don't forget, you can help other traders get better too, right? We're all trying to get to success. So super happy to hear that you had success in the competition and are moving into the evals. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up, but let's talk a little bit more about the trading action. What was your top trade in the Olympics? Tell me a little bit about that one.
I think the top trade was AIU, but in fact, I had like multiple good ones, you know, because I always tell traders, do not go for the home run. So always try to stay consistent, and your profits should be around the same. And also, you know, everyone is different. Like for my trading strategy, I use scalping. And when I first started my trading journey, I tried other strategies as well, like swing trading. And I had great success on demo accounts, but that didn't translate into real accounts. So I tried swing trading for a while, especially, I was listening to you when you talked about the pharma stocks for swing trading, how you should stay away.
Yeah.
It's so true. In fact, like even day trading, just stay away from pharma stocks.
Yeah, man, because the truth is we're all trying to like get reward, right? But the truth is there's just too much risk. I mean,
Exactly.
that's never going to help us, right? I mean, anybody can take a swing. It's like if you told me, hey, I want to go spend $1,000 on lottery tickets because I expect to win the lottery, right? Well, I tell you, man, go use that $1,000 elsewhere, man, because you're probably giving yourself more probability of not getting into the green, right? And that's all we're looking for. We're looking for some edge, but definitely swing trading wasn't working for you. You went more towards the scalp. And I think this is important because as all traders, we need to do one thing: recognize what we like and personality, what can match us, right? And sometimes that takes actually trying something different, right? So you went to something different and you realize maybe that's not for you. Let me go to the opposite, right? Swing trading, more low size, giving yourself some time in the trade. And then you said, you know what? Let's go for the scalping option, which is more of that high size, fast trading. And then that seemed to have worked out for you in the competition. And so I think that's really good that you found something that's working for you. Now, the only question that I have for you, because this happens to everybody, right, is where did you struggle and how did you overcome it? Because we all struggle out there. I know every trader is out there, like, there's always a trader out there that's like, I never lost. But the truth is, everyone struggles. Tell me, where did you struggle and how you overcame it?
I think that the struggle was on the second day or the third day of competition. Like, I kind of fell off the charts. I wasn't in the top 10 on the third day because usually what I do is I have like golden rules for myself. I have about 7 different goals. I call them golden rules. So all these rules, like for example, I never do pre-market trading. That's one rule. I also never trade after market. So I always trade during the regular market session. And also, I also don't trade after 1 p.m. So my trading window is really 9:30 until 1 p.m. And, it's kind of interesting because I was looking at the top 10 in the competition, and I also have the highest win rate. It's 87%. Yeah.
And what's your profit to loss ratio? Like when you're going for these trades, like what is your, like, are you going for 1-to-1?
1-to-2 or 1-to-1.
Awesome.
And then, and I realized I had the highest win rate, which is 87%. But I think that's the part of it is because I was really able to apply my rules. I didn't break any rules this time. And I wasn't doing any trading after 2 p.m. It's interesting. Like my win rate plummets to 20% if I trade between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Like it's mind-boggling. I can never figure this out, but I don't know why. In the afternoon session, like how many times before in the past I made money in the morning session, I gave it all up, and then lunch trading took over, and then I lost even more. So I was like in the green a couple $1,000. I lost it all during the afternoon session, and then it's human psychology. Like you cannot help it. Like you want to get back to where you were before, not just to break even. Oh man, I was up like $1,000, but now I am down 500. So I need to get back to that 1,000. So the mentality is different, which means it kind of forces you to take on a bigger size, and you go for like kind of like impulse trading takes over.
Yeah.
All those things that you must avoid at all costs. So I was able to do this really strictly during the last competition, and the results speak for themselves, I think. And the biggest struggle was for me because usually when I trade, I only trade one stock at a time. I never trade more than one stock. So when I open a trade, I just focus on that. And then when I close it, I go look for other opportunities. During the competition, I had a position open and I hadn't sold it yet, but then I had another opportunity. So I went in and I bought long another stock. So I had 2 positions, but then I forgot to cancel an open order, which then was executed. And then I got a very lousy price. So all of a sudden I had like 3 stocks at the same time, which is something that I'm not really familiar with. So that was a big struggle. And then actually I fell off the top 10 chart on that day because I had to take the loss and move on. So, but I did the right thing because, later that day I analyzed, man, had I kept these positions longer, I would have been completely I would have blown the account.
Yep.
So I did the right thing by actually selling all these positions, and then, forget it. I'm going to get back at it tomorrow. And then that's exactly what happened. So on the fourth day, I think I was back on the top 3, and Miguel Garcia, I was kind of against him in the last.
Yeah, I'm sure he's in the chat right now. Miguel's probably watching right now. I love to hear this though, man. This right here, guys, and for you guys out there that are really trying to make improvements, and I'll say that because I know that there's some of you guys that kind of try to make improvements. Yeah, those guys, I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you out there that's really trying to make that improvement. Rewind what he just said there because it's so important. I'm telling you guys, I run into the same thing. The truth is, we got to find what are these golden rules that we're going to stick by. Figure it out, man. And why? Because the truth is discipline is easily said, not easily done, right? It's an action that has to be repeated. And then it becomes a habit, right? A good habit. But it could easily be that you're not disciplined, you're not practicing that action, and then you're building what? A bad habit, right? And that's the number one way that I've seen traders destroy accounts is they just don't even stick to their own rules. Like they have a clear rule. I'm not going to trade after 12. And then I go into their account and I'm doing some mentorship and I'm like, well, send me your trades, right? And then I look at the timing and I see a trade at 1:30. And that's the number one trade, his biggest loss. And I'm like, well, what are we doing here, man? What are we doing, right? Well, love to hear it, Mustafa, because that really showed me that you were willing to actually take a hit monetary-wise, but not a hit to your rules, which is so important. When you do that, you're actually kind of paying for your discipline and pay for your discipline because the more that you're going to be disciplined, you'll be a systematic trader. Systematic traders are the ones that survive in this game and then eventually usually turn to the profits. The ones that don't are the unsystematic, the undisciplined trader, and the ones that majority of the times you look at it, they have a rule and they don't follow it. Just clearly as simple as that. Like I've been trying to improve on a habit, right? Not trying to get too big too early, right? Mm-hmm. Because it can easily become a bad habit where, like, let's say even these competitions, and I'm always fully transparent, guys. A lot of times when I come out of these competitions, I actually trade worse than when I was trading before them because I get too excited, right? I'm like, I'm going for the $20,000 trade today. No, take it easy, Mitch. Take it easy. I know that you'll be getting after it, Mustafa, and I'm going to be keeping you to your rules. And if you ever need somebody to help you with that, reach out to me, guys, because the truth is we all need accountability, right, Mustafa? Because we can hold ourselves accountable, and that's like always a great thing. But there's nothing like having some good friends like you guys in the chat. Let's help each other out. Let's try to keep each other to each other's rules. And I think it's so important to find some kind of like accountability partner, somebody that can help you look back at your trading and really keep you objective, right? What are you trying to achieve? And are you matching the results? Because the number one thing is execution and system matching, right? Do you follow the system? Do you actually execute that system? Or is it just something that you write on a book and then when you actually go to do it, you can't actually get it done, right? Exactly. Let's keep going here in the interview. I think this is such a great interview. Let's go now over to the evaluation, right? Now you're starting to go into it. You won the competition. You have that 160,000 eval account. What would you approach now differently since it's not the competition and you're looking to go ahead and start making that profit?
Well, now actually, this competition was kind of an eye-opener for me because for the first time in my trading career, I started trading big cap stocks like Nvidia, Tesla. And usually I never trade these names. And now I'm now starting to trade these names on my evaluation account as well. And I think they are a lot less volatile, but not like there is enough volatility for you to take opportunities especially if you're a scalper on these big cap names, and also the volume is great. So it's less risky, and if you can stick to your rules, for example, as long as I'm done trading by 1 p.m., like yesterday on the account, I traded Nvidia 3 times already, and I'm already up like $1,000 on the account as well. So just 2 days in, and today probably I'm gonna trade in Nvidia, and also I don't know if I'm gonna short it or go long. See, here's the other thing: you cannot have a fixed mindset and not say, "Oh, I'm a short seller. I'm a long buyer." No, you have to, like, the mindset that you have to bring to the marketplace is such that you have to learn how to be adaptable, because markets change constantly. You know?
Yeah, it's 100% right there. What you're saying is, guys, open your eyes. Look at what's actually happening versus what you want or intend to happen, right? And that's one of the hardest things, especially in day trading, right? In swing trading, a lot of times you have a little bit more time. You can look at the daily charts, more of your support and resistance. But a lot of time in day trading, we're making quick decisions. So when we're making these quick decisions, we need to already understand what we're seeing right there, right? Like yesterday, right? I even got to the point, and I love to criticize my own trading too, right? Because it's important. There was a time where I was looking for the VIX to kind of get the spike back, right? But I was almost expecting Apple and these other stocks to continue climbing and then get the drop. The trade might have been just taking that trade to the upside, because that's what was actually happening, and what I was intending to happen was the move after that, right? Yeah. So love to call it out, and this is how we make improvements. Stick to those big stocks, Mustafa, because that's going to help you also with the spread issue, right? Because if you move over to the scalping the penny stocks, all of a sudden you have to deal with a spread that was maybe a 2 or 3 cent spread, all of a sudden jump to a 30 or 40 or 60 or even more. And this doesn't help us, because the truth is when we don't have what's called direct market ordering, where we're picking the specific route and then trying to get that money there, we have to be very careful with spreads. So love the decision there to move to large cap stocks that are more heavily traded, heavy volume. You're not going to have the liquidity issue that you have in penny stocks. So I, honestly, man, here, 2 thumbs up for that move. I'll give you that, because I know that's important to hear it, man. Stick to those high quality names. Find what works for you in that scalping game there. And then another thing is, always try to see how the overall market and correlation plays into those high names. That's going to give you a nice edge there, and statistical edge especially. Let's do the last question here. The market's going to open soon, so we'll make this quick. What's a habit that you need to make an improvement on that's going to get you not only the eval that you just got, right, but really to the profits? What's that habit that you need to improve on?
Well, the habit that actually, this is kind of, I've been working on this for a while now, especially like right at the open. I never recommend traders to place orders right at the market open, because this is called day trading for a reason. You have to be patient and allow certain patterns to develop during the day, and you take action. Like, how do you know about the daily chart within 30 seconds into market open? This is kind of insane. So you cannot, you shouldn't be trading right at the open. Wait 15 minutes, half an hour. This is called day trading. So you have to have certain patterns develop, and then you can take action.
Love it.
My habit is that sometimes I usually set a daily goal for myself for the day, and I would say once a week, or maybe about once every other week, I reach the goal within 30 minutes of market open. And then, because now that I reached the goal, I either tend to stop completely or get extremely offensive. Defensive, meaning I don't want to lose the money I just made. In fact, by doing this, I missed out on a lot of good opportunities. So this is one thing that I need to improve on. Especially within 20 minutes, I reach the daily goal, and then I need to just keep looking for these A setups. And then if I see a good setup, I should just go in with the regular size that I set for myself, not less size. And this is something that I'm eventually gonna improve upon.
It's a battle there. I can tell you. I've been there too, man. And I think that's something definitely to work on both ways, right? Because sometimes we'll see that we make a daily goal and then we give up the daily goal. And then we get a little frustrated too, because the truth is that the daily goals added up equal towards the weekly goal. That's why I talk about it too, Mustafa. I tell you to think about it. Of course, I don't know the right ways or the wrong ways. I always say that. I don't know 100%, but what I would tell you to think about is think about things more sometimes in a weekly outcome, because that weekly outcome will help you. Because let's say if you do have 3 great trades on the day, right? You have this daily goal, which is essentially cutting out the psychology of continuing, right? Because since it's a daily goal, you're thinking that, okay, I made what's to happen today. So why am I trying to continue that? Well, if it's a weekly goal, it's a little bit easier, right? You're like, well, if I make my weekly goal though in one day, I should be done, man. You know what I mean? Like I can't push it in this market. I am not a, let's say, 100% trader. If I was 100% trader, then yeah, man, let's just keep throwing the money out there, right? But if we look at it, think about those habits, we're going to make improvements. Let's think about it in that way and keep battling in that market, man. If you ever want to come out here and just talk some market, talk about some trades, maybe it's just, hey, a way to keep you accountable. I know it keeps me accountable too, right? And that's why I try to also be fully transparent with you guys, right? Show you guys everything from filled orders to, you won't see that out there, right? Because the truth is, I'm learning just like you guys are learning. Mustafa, congratulations, man. Gold in the Olympics, 160,000 eval. Go get after it, my friend. The market's open. Be careful with that NVIDIA. She's a fast one, but I wish you the best, man. I'm going to be looking to see how you're doing. I'll continue on your journey, and I really, truly want to see you succeed, man. So congratulations. Stay focused. Remember to give yourself a pat on the back also when you cut out losers. This is what I don't see a lot of traders do, is they don't get happy on a day that they lost. The truth is, you need to learn how to do that, because that's what's going to keep you disciplined, and that's what's going to keep you to success, right? I cut losses today that were really good cuts, because if I didn't, I would have gave up the account. And that's the truth. So let's just keep getting after it. Go do it, Mustafa. I'm going to do it myself. Market's open. Be safe out there, traders. Have a good one, man. And take care, man. I wish you the best. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get back to the markets here, guys. What a great conversation that was. If you guys just caught into that, the market's open. But, man, I could listen to that interview itself 3 or 4 times. Guys, we'll of course share that with you guys on social. Smash the like if you guys enjoyed that conversation. Let's get to the market here. Let's find some trades. I'm going to get my scanners up, of course. You guys can see here unusual volume, and I got some other ones that I can bring up here. So let's keep looking out there and seeing what we can come up with. All right, Sark with a cross down. Apple with a big push out the gates. And what do you see in NVIDIA? Well, it was a big push, now pulled back there, guys. A lot of action up and down. LUMN. Whoa, that thing moved and came right back down. So be careful out there, guys. Penny stock up there towards 783s, back down towards 7. Will it take the 7 now and start to make that up move? Doesn't look too bad. Remember, I talked about an important level. Could we get back above it, which was right here, 780s. Where did we go to? 783, right on the dot. We'll see what happens on that one. LUMN. Let's keep looking into the market sector-wise. I'm going to focus here and see what we're seeing moving right out the gates. Technology leading, financial services getting that push. Energy pushing strong. Industrials right behind that. So maybe look at Caterpillar. That's one that I'm looking at for today. We'll see what happens there. Healthcare on the downside. So that is on the downside there. Basic materials pulling back there. Communication services pulling back a little bit. That was hot yesterday. Of course, dividend players trying to get that. Let's take a look at this GBTG. This one has a pretty good unusual volume. And I'll bring up some other scanners here to see what we can come up with. Guys, what are you guys seeing out there in the market? How's Shop trading? Of course, Shop, one of the big stocks this morning, was getting a nice little lift there. Good little spike out the gates. We'll look to see if this can continue pushing. Got up there towards the 6680s. Amazon one to take a look at. We'll see if that can lift today. Nice little spike right before the open there. Went to 167. We'll look to see if it takes the next move. All right, great conversation today. I hope you guys enjoyed the action. Let's keep getting into it. If you guys see a stock moving, throw it up in the chat. All right, guys, what's up out there? Is Mustafa is the same from the trading frat? I'm not sure. I'd have to ask him, but you guys can always reach out to him. Throw up messages in the chat. I'm sure he'll catch it. He's focusing on trading, and I wish him the best. Get after it, man. ADTX. All right, I will take a look at that one. And if you guys have names to look at, throw it up in the chat. We'll take a look at that. INDO. And there is one that's up big, man, that I'm just scratching my head and wondering if I come back after it, which is KVU. Remember yesterday I was looking at this one before the bell, and this thing got all the way up there towards 2092 yesterday. And I was watching this one before the bell yesterday, man. That thing just rocketed. We'll see what happens on that one. It is on the pullback right now. And that's a household personal product. So take a look to see what happens to those, like Procter & Gamble. And that's already getting the big juice up move right now. So I'd be looking at these, right? Clorox is another one, already getting the jump. What are these plays? These are recession plays, guys. So I'm taking a look at this. I'd like to see Clorox drop right back below that 144, but definitely names that keep an eye out for to see how these are moving. Planet Fitness trying to get a little bit of a lift. We'll see if that can continue pushing, maybe make a move there towards 80. It's just a name that's kind of getting a nice little push here. We'll see what else is out there. Let me get some other scanners up and see what I can come up with here. All right, explosive winners. Let's get this up. I'm wondering why this one's not working here. Let me try to get this one kind of working up here. All right. I don't know why that one's not working. I'll fix that a little bit later here. Let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look at some other ones here. I have a volume leader one that I wanted to take a look at to see if there's any that get up there 20%. I'll keep watching out there, guys. I do have some other scanners in different areas, so I'll keep watch to see what happens out there. Let's keep getting after it, team. All right. Let's see what I got here. There we go. Now I'm getting that to move there. Sorry about that, guys. Had to fix that there. Opening range momentum, I'm going to put here on the right-hand side. This is actually an interesting area to look at. Swim is showing up on both of these, so definitely SWIM, definitely top name right now in the penny game. Moving fast there, guys. That one came out of a halt at the 460s. We'll look to see if it takes the $5 move to the upside. Was just up there to the 487s. Could pull back to the VWAP around the 430s here. Definitely moving all around there is Swim. Swim. Shop. What's up out there, guys? Let's keep going. All right, guys. Be advised. Looking around out there, guys, seeing what's up out there. Let's see what we can come up with. I'm seeing Shop on the pullback, looking around. RVLV, Revolve Group, getting a nice little jump up there towards the $22. Man, this one's actually a big little spike there. Specialty Retail getting a nice little push there. Of course, Specialty Retail is getting that move with Shop. Shop's kind of leading that action. INDO, oil and gas name, trying to make a move today. Of course, with energy moving, that's not a bad one to keep an eye out. And this one loves to kind of make a little bit of a push here. It's not the biggest lift, but it also has a tendency of getting a little push here. I'm seeing another kind of bioscience get a little push here. Carbu Bioscience, CRBU, a little push there. RYAM. Chemicals names getting a nice little push there. Not a bad one. RYAM, looking into the market out there. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at technology. Let's take a look at the Qs. What's leading the Qs this morning? I got ILMN, FTNT, so Fortinet, Apple getting a nice little push. Marvell getting a push there. Workday Doesn't look too bad. We'll see if this one gets back there towards the 220s. Starbucks pushing back here. Not a bad one to watch for on a day like today. We'll see if it can continue to push. We'll see if restaurants are pushing today. I do see restaurants up a significant amount. Could look at this to see if there's any other ones that stand out to me. But definitely seeing that get a nice little push right now. That's overall in, of course, your cyclical area. We'll see what happens there. Swim. Can that one keep moving? We'll see it's back down towards below the VWAP there. So quick little pullback back down below the VWAP towards the 420s. We'll look to see if it works its way back there towards 5, but definitely back down. Can it hold 4 on the downside? I don't know, guys. This is a building material stock. Did it have a spike in the after hours where it went up there towards 560s, but ran into the resistance around this 470s. So we'll see if it comes back and holds the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. Angie's getting a little bit of a push, right? And so this one's also in kind of the service area, getting a nice little push there. ANGI, nice little push from 220s to 244s. Fortinet, get out there to 68, now starting to pull back a little bit. We'll see what happens on this one. Keeping an eye on different actions out there. TGTX was one that was moving yesterday. Just got a couple of spikes trying to get back through that 2175. We'll look to see if this one keeps going. Not a bad looking chart right now on this. Could pull back here towards the $19 and $20 today, but TGTX definitely one that I'm watching. It has been recovering since this morning. It got down there towards the 20. Now it's looking like it wants to break out here. We'll see if it wants to go towards the 22s here. Now above the VWAP here, not looking too bad. I'd like to see a cut down back towards the 2150s here to see if it wants to go to 22s, but there it goes, 2169. We'll see what happens on this one. VKTX, another one that I'll keep a watch on as this one's pulling back there. Was strong yesterday. We'll see if this starts to break down. Look at that, VKTX, downside action. Lumen, right back here, guys. Caught that 7 dip there. It's right back up there towards the 740s. We'll look to see if it takes the high. High was 783. All right, catching up and taking a breath out there, guys. What's up out there, guys? What are you guys looking out there? All right, guys. What do you guys have out there? What are you guys taking a look at? All right. Let's see what else we got. Tiny T, honestly, honestly, I can't know what to happen with that situation with Tim in the Discord. Of course, you can reach out to our customer service if you have any issues with that. Like always, I'm here to trade, so I can't unfortunately address that right now, but I'll keep getting after it. Chris S. So were you just out of luck and being able to trade today? What's up out there, guys? Chris S., what do you got? All right, guys, let's keep getting after it, guys. Martine bringing up Hood. What? We'll take a look at that out there. All right, Hood. 1750s, pulling back. Look to see if it gets a bounce, right? This came down because of the Bitcoin trade. Is the Bitcoin trade back? We'll see. Swim, back down and halting off the $4. So tough to see that one. LV. Revolve Group trying to make that next step up. We'll see what happens on that one. Taking a look around to see what else is moving in the market today. Let's see what I got here. I'm going to bring up this sector status here. Take a look here. All right. Put this by the change open here. Take a look and try to trade one of these leaders out there, guys. So we'll see what happens out there. I'm seeing VFC move today. That's interesting. Definitely Lumen's leading the communication area. Netflix in the green there. Google, slightly up there. All right, guys, where am I seeing? I'm seeing a bunch of bullish action, especially in technology. So pretty much everything up there. Not seeing much on the downside. So technology, definitely an area where we're still seeing the strength in the market. I'm seeing in retail up 5. 5 is up. Decent amount there. Not doing too bad. Dollar Tree up a big amount. So definitely seeing those start to bounce back. Etsy, Ulta. So a lot of those even retail names getting a little bit of a bounce back. Costco bounce back. So definitely seeing that move. SPWR, I thought this thing was going to disappear. We'll see what happens. How's Run doing off of that Tesla mention? It got up there to 1886, now back towards the 18 technology. How's Solar doing? That's what's going to really tell me something. And that's a lot on First Solar, right? FSLR, the leader, got up there towards what? 219, 219.67. Now pulling back to the 216. How's the SPY doing here, guys? We got up there to the 530 area where I was kind of looking at to see if we'd get back there to that level. If I take a look at the hourly, we're starting to get back here towards the second layer of the resistance. So the prior was a support resistance looking at 529. Next layer would be a break of 533. So still room to run another kind of $3 here until you get to that spot. We'll see if it can continue making moves. Lumen, one that I'll be keeping a watch as it pulls back here to the 7. Will it hold here or will it start to break back down, right? A lot of these penny stocks have not been able to hold their gains lately. We'll look to see if these can continue to push. I feel like this one could break down. So I'm going to be taking a look at maybe potentially shorting this one. But if I did, it might be a kind of a quick type of trade if I'm going after that, right? So we'll see what happens. Definitely a rejection here. It's kind of trading in what I would call a symmetrical triangle right now, where it's kind of trading up and down between the range. Right now, you're kind of stuck in the middle. I'm looking for one more attempt to 750s. If that fails, then I can start to look for a breakdown back towards 7. We'll see what happens. Right now, it's at the $7 and trying to catch support. Looking around, guys. Angie's still showing up there on the volume scanner, so that's still pushing to the upside there. All right, taking a look to see what else is making a move. Overall sector is definitely leading here. It's going to be from your opening action. It's going to be XLI. So industrials leading from the open is something that I'm taking a look at there. Let's take a look at CAT. How's that doing? 333s trying to reject there. What about Lockheed Martin? That's on the pullback. Yesterday was pulling back. I'm looking to see if this bounces today. I was making a big move just recently, pulling back almost to the 9 EMA right now. Swim, did it reopen there? Yeah, reopened right at the 4 spot. We'll look to see if it cuts down through the low or does it work back right back to the upside. There's probably some buyers stepping up there at 4. We'll see what happens there on that one. And that's a swim. Swimmy, swim, swim. All right, guys, doesn't look too bad off of that $4 spot, but we'll look to see if this actually wants to make its way back here towards 475 and 5 is the outlook. It did gap and halt at kind of 460s. So that's kind of an area to look for to see if you get a kind of another halt there. Cook getting in the push there towards 3. We'll see what happens out there. Definitely taking a little bit easy towards the open here as I call out a lot of the trades that are out there, and then I'll start taking more of my trading action here. VFC pulling back to that 18. We'll look to see if it goes right back up there. Not a bad spot there off that 1820. All right, guys, catching up out there. Money Mitch, what's going on? Are you guys having some issues on the trading? I see some issues being mentioned out there. I'll definitely take a look out there. I see some mentions out. Let me find out what's going on right now with the platform, if there's some more issues. Of course, like always, guys, I'm trying to get after it, guys. Yeah, learn from yesterday. Yeah, focus on my trades. Yeah, can't be checking everything. You know it, future day trade billionaire. It's hard. It's definitely difficult to be, catching in the chat, helping other traders, helping the situation. With a moderator, like always, guys, I'm trying to continue trading, right? That's what it's all about, guys. All right, guys, let's take a look out there. Let's keep pushing. What else can we get after? And then I'll find out if there's any more issues that I can, kind of address there. I'll find out, guys. All right, team. I'm trying to address that issue for you guys, but I want to go trading. So let me go focus, guys. Swim starting to get back there towards the 423s. It actually looks like it wants to get back there towards the 5. I'll let you guys know on that action. Right now, I do see that we're not getting some unlocking of intraday exposure. So if you guys are having some issues with exposure, that definitely could be happening. But we'll see what happens out there. I'll definitely address it a little bit later as I get more information, guys. RCL short at the resistance. Get after it, Nate. Get after it. All right, what else is going on there? I like Airbnb short below 111. All right, we'll take a look at that action. What about Disney? How's Disney doing here? Disney still not recovering there, guys. It's still pretty weak. I'm looking to see if that wants to recover. Of course, a lot of people have had chances to get in Disney. It's been on a huge decline. So let's see what happens today if it can hold this 87 and reverse back to the upside. So 5 minutes tells me that there could be some buying off of this 87 for Disney. So I don't mind it. I just want to see it get back through the 88 level. So I'll be watching to see if it can get back towards that 88 level. And then I'll look to see if it reverses there. So Upstart, one that's kind of continuing that move from the morning action. Let's take a look at that. Just pulled back to that 29. Now trying to break that 30-50. We'll look to see if that can keep going. Shop also pulling back, holding the 66. We'll see what happens on that one. Affirm, one to take a look at, right? We'll see what happens there. Down to 25. Interesting. All right, guys, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. Let's keep going, guys. Let's see what else is out there. Steel Dynamics making a move there. ALB pulling back. Looking around to try to find some good trades there. ALB, of course, you're talking about a lithium name, getting a little bit of a push today. We'll see what happens on names like that. I'll try to look into this to see if there's any that stand out to me. Hudson Technology is one that would definitely stand out to me. This is up 13%, could keep running. Daily kind of reversal there on that. So chemicals not having a bad day there. So we can take a look to see if some of those going to continue. This RYAM, that one was making a move earlier. Could make the move right back towards that 788. We'll see what happens on this one. Not a bad name. I'll keep watch on this. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. So now trying to break that. We've had 1, 2, 3 attempts to break the VWAP. I want to see one more attempt and then reverse back through that 750s. I'll take a shot on this RYAM. So looking for another attempt here to try to break down, do a wick here, and then reverse out of this 730. We'll see what happens on that RYAM. All right, guys, we'll keep getting after it, guys. What up out there? It's only one way, baby. Let's go get it. Go get it. This is one that I do like here. I'll keep looking around out in the market. How's the SPY doing? Discontinuing, but what's it doing? A slow stair step move. So continue to look for slow stair step move right now. We haven't had expansion. NVIDIA tries to break out back there towards through that 108, and it's starting to head on the downside there. So of course, NVIDIA is one of the watch for me on the short side of things today. I will still be looking forward to see if maybe I can get that short action here. It's dropping pretty fast here. Big levels to watch is the hourly 108 rejection. 108 is an important level. We got that breakdown already, starting to see that breakdown away from it. So now I would love to see this get back to the VWAP, 107.40s. It could just wash out. I'll be watching that. I could also do a trade on a different type of NVIDIA names, right? So like I can do like the reverse kind of inverse. This is the NVDQ. Could go long on this right today. Not a bad one to take a look at for more like the scalp action. So like 695s right now or 685s on the pullback, more for that scalp action above 7. We'll see what happens here on NVDQ. NVIDIA down to the 106. Taking a look around, guys. What else is making a move? Tesla down to the 99 spot. So definitely a fade off of that one. Carnival Cruise up there towards the 1480s. We'll look to see if this can continue to push back. Has big resistance above it, could fade off of that level and come right back down. RCL has been one that's been really hot as of late for the year, and then, could start to turn around. On this one, though, the only thing is on the daily chart, it seems like it wants to get back to 159, 160. So I'd be a little bit, just from what I'm seeing right there on the daily chart, like this resistance. There is a support here where it can wash back below, which was this like 152 level, but you're kind of above that right now, 155, stuck kind of in the middle right there. I could see it getting back here, even to that resistance, that 159. We'll see what happens there. NVIDIA now down to 106.20s, but to tell you the truth, it looks like a bigger move on the 1 minute and 5. It's not going to look like a crazy move on the hourly, right? The hourly will keep you a little bit safe. We'll see what happens out there. Swim. Would it go back to 5? It's back down. It got to the VWAP. Could just fade off of that. TENX was moving yesterday. Of course, it came all the way back down. We'll see if this actually makes the move. What about the one that we were looking at just recently this morning, LUMN? There you go, guys. It got back down towards the 7, trying to do one more pop here. Let's see if it gets to pop. If it starts to fail, I wouldn't mind maybe taking a trade both directions here on LUMN. So to me, it looks like a fade, but I want to react after the fact, not on the first reaction here. We'll see what happens if it does get that spike. The spike could be really quickly to 750 or down through this down wick here, which was 674. RYAM reversal out of that spot tells me that I can come after this one. This is a pattern that I like trading here. So let's go ahead. Let's try to get a kind of a scalp type of trade here back towards 776 and 780s, maybe going towards the 8 on top profits. That's about 50 cents on the upside. Where's the risk? Now, that's the important thing. Downside right there was 34s. So right now, looking at about 14-cent risk if I get in there. I wouldn't mind getting it at VWAP. VWAP is 742s. Let's see if I can get maybe 745 here, 744s, and then look for this to come right back towards the high of 771. Not a bad one here. And if I do come after this one, it's kind of more of that bigger size because it's not going to be a bigger move on the upside. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to first come after it with 300, try to add 300 as I keep pulling back. Could maybe do, let's cut that in half. Let's do 150s and just add slowly as I pull back here. All right, guys, trying to go ahead and get access here. I do got access on my swing account. I do see that my day trade account is not giving me that access right now. So I will have access on this swing account. So I'm going to go ahead and just take it on the swing. All right. There's nothing wrong on this RYAM. We'll look to see if this comes right back to the upside. This is a smaller name, just seeing chemicals up leading today. So I don't mind taking this type of trade. Ryanair Advanced Materials. It's pulling back here. Could make that nice little push off this VWAP back towards the 775. All right, little pullback there. We'll look to see if this starts to get the bounce. 5 minute could touch the kind of the 9 EMA. So I'm keeping that in mind right now. I'm just kind of slowly watching it, just trying to see the size come in here. I'm only seeing 2,000 shares. So not seeing a lot of volume there. And it could pull back to the 722s. That's where I see some bigger sizing. So let's see what happens here, if it wants to make the move or not. All right, what else out there, guys? What's up? Lumen still strong. Definitely think one to watch for sure. All right, RYAM back towards the 740s. We'll see if this wants to make the move back here towards the 751s. Doesn't look too bad there. I'm going to go looking at elsewhere to some other ones. Swim back there towards the 460s. Could take the 5. It's going back up there. Lumen. What's up with Lumen? Did it kind of break that 7? Yeah, it broke that. Tried to break through there towards the 720s. Now let's see if it takes off through the 750s, or does it just fail here? That's one thing that I'll be looking at. If it fails here, I don't mind getting short. I'm going to wait till I see the failing action, though. We'll see what happens there on LUMN. All right, if I do get into this, I'll probably go after it with a little bit smaller share size. This is the swing account, and can swing it close if I need to. Could see the move coming back here towards the 624s, maybe even 6 on the downside if it fails. Still holding in right now above the 9 EMA. That's why I'm not getting short. I'm not going to get short on it until it starts to break down through the 7. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look at what else is out there. What's making a move? I'm looking around, guys. I see ILMN up 5%. Looking around to see what else is kind of getting a nice little push here. Also can start taking a look to see if NVIDIA continues to drop. It's getting a little bit of a bounce there. We'll see what happens on that one. TGTX pulling back a little bit there. They're starting to drop fast there, guys. So if you're looking for a short opportunity, I'm looking at this one right now. Serve has rejected multiple times to try to get back up into the level that it was at yesterday. The trend line still kind of being respected right now, but it could come back towards 1470s. So you just got to know that this is going to move all around in the range, right? If you look at just the range from where it's been at, it's been pretty much a $1.75 range. So range all around there in Serve. We'll see what happens. BKTX, how's that one doing? Still a fade off of that one. Not looking too bad there. That 53.19s could really fade through that 52 right now. So I'm taking a look at this one as more of a scalp opportunity. But the problem with this one is the spread's about 20 cents. But this could easily go right back through that 52. Doesn't look too bad there. If I could get a little bit of a bounce fill here, we'll see what happens if I could get this kind of like 52.77. See this come back through that 52. It's not a bad one there. Angie List, how's that now? 257. Still pushing strong there. Lumen around the 709s. I'm just looking at that one to see if it'll break down back below 7s. There was a big order right there, 8,000 shares. 8,000 shares at that 713. Definitely some traders taking a shot there on that Lumen. We'll see if it actually is able to hold there. I do see some longs coming in there. Longs. I'm starting to take a look here to see if it starts to break 7 and going short. All right, we'll see if we get that cut. We're back towards the 706 here. So could have been just a trap there towards the 736, and it starts to break the VWAP and then starts to cut back down. All right, let's look around. Let's see what else we can make a move on. 10,000 share buy there around the 7. So there it goes. It just cracked. Let's see if it reverses it back to the upside. You could get a little wick where it comes towards the 711s and then comes right back down. So I'm looking for that slight wick above the 7s here to get short. Could have just short there at 7. I did see some buyers try to get in there and just got caught there at the 7. So let's see if this gets back there towards 7, makes it look like it's going to go up at 710, and then the real flush comes in. We'll see what happens. Definitely starting to get weaker on LUMN. There's the cut towards the 680s. It's definitely cutting down there, so be careful out there, guys. Swim. We'll see if this cuts right back down. This is like just moving all over the place, guys. Swim, multiple touches towards this 450s. Has a resistance trend line there. Could come all the way back down towards the support. So just be careful out there, guys. Swim, moving around. All right, guys. What's up out there, guys? What do you guys got? What are you guys taking a look at in the chat? Let me know. What are you guys trading? NVIDIA, pretty weak, man, for compared to the market. All right, guys, if I look at the hourly starting to tell me a different story. Now, everything in the last hour is red. So that tells me something else. That tells me a green open and a red change right now as you're starting to get pullbacks, right? So take a look at that. We'll see what happens. Definitely starting to get some kind of weaker moves out there. Zappy zap, man. The swing trade on this thing looks interesting for me, for this to just keep collapsing. I could see this getting back there towards $4 here. Already undercutting the 9 today towards the 450s. Not a bad looking trade there. Would love to see this back towards 880s. but we'll see what happens there. And Zap. Serve also could keep undercutting, especially if we get some downturn in the market right now. We'll see what happens off this 16 right here. Doesn't look too bad. See if I got some buying power yet. No, still no. It has some issues there, but we'll figure it out here. Let me go maybe for a little bit of a scalp here on Serve. There's a Lumen down to the 678, so that's definitely starting to break down. No bounce there that I saw, at least above towards the 710s. We'll look to that bounce, but could have maybe just got cut through and should have shorted there, that 7 for the 6. But I couldn't get the big sizing right now. I got kind of the swing trade, so we'll see what happens there. Serve going down to the 1590s, already cutting there. Look to the right. Then already starting to see that cut down. We'll look to see if we get back to 16, but definitely starting to fade already is Serve. Look to see if it starts to keep going down here through the 1580s. Could cut the 1560s, and then you're just starting to just free fall. We'll see what happens there in Serve. Upstart up there towards 31. That's continuing pretty well there. Stop trying to continue there through the 67. Lumen now down to 650s. So I haven't been making bad calls on these shorts on the penny stocks. I need to start taking a little bit more trades on those, but just to kind of mention there. Hudson Technologies now pulling back a little bit, taking a look around to see what I can find out there, guys. Right now, the SPY starting to slow down, and it did take a downturn there. But of course, it's just a small pullback. We'll look to see if it can hold VWAP pullbacks. That's an important outlook. Once you start to see that break, that's where I'd be a little bit concerned. Let's go to technology and take a look at the hourly RSI. Hourly RSI is going to tell me maybe something that's really strong recently that could turn around, right? And so I could take a look at technology and then see what happens here and what's strong that could turn right back to the downside, right? So Shop, really strong RSI name. That's at 92 right now. So Uber, another one, really pushing strong, guys. And this could also be scalps to the upside because they're just strong names, right? Payo, right? We'll see what happens on that one. Sports Radar getting a little bit of a lift. Fortinet, definitely. That thing's just been busting offers. Just keeps going through it. So that's definitely one that you can keep a watch on. Let's see what else. I'm rolling through these names here. Match, definitely getting a nice little lift there. A CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike here. Not a bad one to look at, right? Everyone's looking elsewhere. This is already starting to get a little bounce back, right? We'll look to see if it can get to the 250s. It's at 242s. Could take out the high there of 243.50s. Right now at 242 with 241.80s on the bid. We'll see what happens on this one. Can it take the high right back to the upside? Not a bad looking trade right there to maybe take the scalp off this 242 pullback from the 241.50s, going back towards the 244s. We'll see what happens here on CrowdStrike. Not a bad looking one there. Look to see if it goes back up there. RYAM now starting to recover after that quick little dip there. So don't mind that dip there. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the shot here on this YRAM. Let's go after it. Let's see if I can get 300 shares and try to make this work out here. The big thing there is I can hold towards the support right underneath it, the 725. So can hold to that. Should hold down there, that 730 really. So it's only about a 10 cent. Can maybe give it a penny or two under that. Got about 300 shares, nothing crazy. Long on that. RYAM. Gonna take a look at some different ones. Did Swim fail yet? It's holding in right now. Could make one more attempt to run out and then start to fail. We'll see what happens there in Swim. INSP up there towards 180. This thing has been an absolute monster on the day. Went up there about on the rip, just 8%. So nice kind of like head and shoulders here off this 180s. Looks like it's probably might make a VWAP attempt on the pullback. The spread there went wide, man. Went wide. All right, we'll take a look at this RYAM. Of course, wanted to hold that 730 pullback. Looking for a push there towards the 780s. It'd be about 40 cents higher. We'll see what happens here. All right, let's take a look to see what else is going on. Maybe some big kind of movers, right? That's what I want to kind of take a look at. Opening range, still looking good. SLRX. That's one that's been known, right? There you go. Penny name here, getting a nice little boost there towards the 248. Just pushed off the 225 pullback, 250 coming into play for SLRX. This is one that was running before, just popped off the $2. Low volume though on that one. That's one thing I'll note. Definitely seeing Nvidia still stay weak there. So we'll see what happens there. If Nvidia can actually get strong, but it is still staying weak for the time being. It's just a range. That's the way I feel like it. It's just playing a range, like a bigger range on the hourly, and could come right back to the 109. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Let me see if I have access now back here. Still having some issues out there, but we'll see what happens, guys. Taking the shot there. There's RYAM starting to push a little bit there to the 748s. I'll add a little bit here to take a little bit bigger shot there. Let's see, 200 shares there on the pullback here. I'm in at 740, so I'm going to look for right around my entry on this pullback. So maybe 742s. Don't mind that pullback. We'll see if we get it there. Right now, I'm not putting it out there because I just want to see the bid drop down to like 740s and the offer at 742, and I'll hit it. Shop till you drop. Shop continuing 67 there, man. What a move. Nice little 5-minute pattern on that shop where it's holding the 9, started to go higher. And really, these aren't the worst names to maybe scout because they're higher quality names, right? So nice moves there. I hope Mustafa's killing it out there. Lumen at that 660s. We'll see what happens on that one. Swim trying to make the move back through that 550s. Going to hit probably the resistance here. We'll take a look to see if it hits it. 458. And then looking to see if it goes through that or does it fail there. There's that Ryanair coming back to the 743 on the offer, 740 on the bid. Looking to see if we get a slight undertick here to go ahead and jump in. There's the bid at 739, so we could still get that 740 offer here. It's spread out by about 4 cents here. Let me see if I can get that and just add at the right spot, right on my break-even spot. There's 41s here. The bid at 37 tells me that we could even drop below that. So it's still spreading out by 4, trying to cut some of that volume here. 736 is a little bit of a boost there. So I'm going to look to see if we drop down towards that, and then we get the 740s. It'll still be a 4-cent wide spread off that 740s. See if we're able to get it there. I can even just change to a market and come after it when I get it. Swim starting to reject that 750s. Hasn't gone to the 758s, but definitely something that I'm looking at. Run went back there towards the 1860s. How's First Solar doing? First Solar trying to recover. Still hasn't really recovered. RYAM, quick move down there, so not going to add there on that. Back towards the 730s. Stop out's going to be the 725 area. That's going to be about 45 bucks. See if this starts to recover here. Back through my level will be the area that I could add and just hold off this low, 730s. Start to move up my stop. All right, guys, let's keep going. What do you think about Disney? Let's go take a look at Disney. Disney, I needed it to recover 88. If it recovers 88, I think it could recover on the day. I actually had it on the playbook to the upside. So now that we're starting to recover the VWAP, doesn't look bad here. 5 minutes, I think that a lot of people played in on these 87s. So now they need to start seeing that recovery. we got this type of move right here. The setup support off this 87.50s. You've had a couple attempts to break that down towards the 87.40s. Now it could come back to take the 88 and really go higher. Pullbacks to the VWAP makes sense right now. 87.70s. We'll see what happens here on Disney. That didn't look too bad there off of this pullback here. All right, well, I'll take a shot here. Let's see if I can get it. Oof, that was quick through the 70s here. 68, 75. So let's see if I can get there for some reason, slightly towards that 68, 67s. Looking for a little bit more pullback here to the 60s. All right, no pullback there, so we might have to step up here. I'm going to step up here on the first 100 shares here at the 85s. So just stepped up there long on Disney. Going to look for a little bit of a pullback back towards the 67s to add another 100. Look to see if this starts to push now. Back through the 88s. Could see this recovery. The earnings report really wasn't that bad. Let's see if it starts to actually climb back. Trying to make some money in the house of mouse today. Apple starting to give up a little bit there. Keep your eyes on the SPY, man. The SPY's starting to head down now, guys. Now we're starting to get a little bit of that downside action here. SQQQ is one way to definitely take a look at this. I got to stop out there on that RYAM. Got to stick with smaller size here because I got the swing account. It's not as big, so little part of me feels like playing this SQQQ. All right, guys, going to take a little bit there on the SQQQ. Looking for the 10 break. We'll see what happens. Small right now, 200 shares. NVIDIA starting to break there off that 105, so not bad outlook there. That probably washes out my Disney trade, so I got to keep watch on that Disney. Make sure that I don't go too crazy on that. I'm going to risk it towards the 87.30s for Disney. Could see this going back here towards 89 and 90s. So 89 would be that first profit. That'd be up about $1. We'll see what happens there, and risking about what, 60 cents here. So the first profit would be about $1. Second profit's about $2. We'll see what happens there. SQQQ is now there through the 10, so at least the scalp opportunity was there for the SQQQ. I started seeing the weakness in the market. Now the only question is, will it really be weakness, right? Take a look to see what happens with strong stocks like Shop. Will those all of a sudden turn on a dime? That RYAM down to the 715s now definitely got me out there. Disney up there towards the 88.22s. Starting to bounce back there. Not looking too bad as it starts to climb here. The big thing is going to be now holding kind of the VWAP pullbacks. They really don't even want it back down through that 84.40s. So I'm going to tighten up here towards the 87.50s. It's looking good here, 88.40s now. So looking decent there. Can we get there towards kind of the 89 spot? Wouldn't mind it if it keeps just breaking out here. Pretty strong move there on the first action. 88.50s now. Not looking too bad. Could get myself back into the green by just taking the profits here. Of course, I'm trying to work this a little bit more. And since it's a swing trade account, I can keep working this. I got a nice entry on this towards the 88. Of course, 87 is kind of more that bottom, but I have the risk, right? About $1 risk there I can do, and then looking for a bigger move. Right now, I have the set there towards 87.50s, which is only about 30-cent risk. So let's see if this can keep working. Nice little push there. 88.60s now showing up there on Disney. Not a bad move there. Can I get to 89? I'll sell 50 already. Let's see if we can get there to 89. Or slightly below 89. We'll do, since we don't get greedy, let's do 88.90. All right, 88.90s. Well, I'll try to get that out there as it starts to come through there. 88.60s now showing up there. We'll look to see if it gets through there. The high 63 right now. Shop looks like it wants to keep pushing. We'll see what happens. Apple did turn around a little bit there on that action. SPY getting a little bit of a bounce. Could still go to 533. So I'm keeping that in mind with the SQQQ. Trying to keep that really tight on the SQQQ. If it stops me out, let it be a small stop out. Just looking for this to kind of really run if it's going to run. I got about $16 of risk right now. Nothing, pretty much. Disney, we'll look to see if it keeps going through that 89. We'll see what else is out there. I don't want to give out my email publicly. Why not? All right, guys, we'll see what else is out there. All right, looks like I need to restart, and that will give me access here, guys. So I need to kind of restart my platform. So if you guys see things go away, you guys know what happened here. I'm just trying to restart some stuff. So let me go ahead and do that. So if you're having some issues, I would definitely restart to make sure you get this working. And if you're like me, you have it right on the stream deck to get it right back up. Let's go. All right, let's get this going here. Logging in here, guys. Disney got up there towards 88.61. Swings are out there. At least I got some stops placed also. We'll see what happens out there. All right, guys. We'll see if we're able to get this to work here. Let me see. Still kind of locked out, man. Still having some locked out issues, guys, but I'll find out what's going on with that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that trade on that right now. All right, guys, going to keep getting after it. We'll see what else is out there. All right, guys, we'll see what else is out there. Disney pulling back now towards the 88. Just going to keep taking the swings out there today, guys. It's going to be a swing account type of day. I'll keep taking the trades. The good thing is I do got a lot of buying power now, of course. Still got a good amount that I can trade with here. So let's keep getting after it. Upstart towards the 32.60s. We'll see what happens. Almost 33 there. So definitely big day there for Upstart. As a firm following there. There it is. Now big order size there for a firm. 100,000 shares going through on the 1 minute tells me that, yeah, I'm not the only one looking at a firm as I see Upstart just rip higher like that. So we'll look to see if this can be kind of more of a scalp opportunity here, but definitely a firm getting some more buyers to step up there. Can it make its way back there to 27 today? We'll find out. Really nice little push there. Wouldn't mind to see a pullback to 25.60s here. 25.60s, the 90 MA around 25.66 right now. We'll see what happens on that one. Upstart just continuing to push up 36%, guys. Swim rejected that 450, back down to the 418s. It seems like right now the shorts and the penny games are winning. Definitely the shorts are getting it right now. That Lumen, that 7 short, that would have been perfect, man. It's a frustrating day, man. Just got to keep it going, though. Let's go. SQQQs trying to lift again here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to step up to the plate on the SQQQs as we came back to my entry. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to take another shot here off the 10 to see if we actually get the breakdown that I'm looking for here. I got 98s here, so we just want to see it hold VWAP now in a second here. Let's see if I get 97s just for a second at least. Apple still trying to go higher, so that's where it gets a little bit like it could just be a mixed noise type of day where it comes back to 980 and then you come back through 10 later in the day. So I'm going to take the step up here and just keep it really tight. Actually, I mean, go a little bit lower here. Let's go with the 200 size. Not too crazy of a step up. Don't want to step up too quickly here. Trying to practice on my habits, right? All right, there's 1001. I'm going to take the shot there. Let's see what happens here, guys. So now I got 400, right? I'm going to keep it really tight here. 994s gets me out. Looking for the pop through this. So we're just runs away. Pops to like 1020. That's what I'm looking for. If it doesn't do that, then it's just not the move here. 1003s. Let's see if they just take it. Disney coming back there. We'll take a look at Disney right now, but it is coming back right now. It's coming towards the 88.13s. It was just above 88s towards 88.60s. All right, looking for Disney to take out the highs and keep going here. 88.60s. Can it keep rocking and rolling today? We'll see what happens. There's Disney now towards 88.40s. Let's go, Disney. Make me some cash, Disney. I won't be mad at you. All right, canceling my cutout there, the limit out off the 88.80s. When it gets up there, I'll definitely try to take the profits, but looking to see this keep moving. There's the SQQQ up a little bit, really not taking that lift off. So want to keep watching that. Looking like I should have my account right back here. So I'll be watching that. I got to do a little bit of a reset again. So I'm just going to stick with the positions I have right now, and then we'll look to reassess there. But definitely getting Disney back and forth there from the 88.50s. Want this to kind of get that nice little breakout there. The 5-minute candle is starting to fade off a little bit. And if the overall market just collapses, that's where it gets difficult. And Disney goes right back to the red, right? So got to be smart here. Just kind of keep watch right now. Should hold that 87.90s on pullbacks. I'm in at 87.84. So tightening down on Disney here because it should be a reward now. If it pulls back there, it could easily just cut me out. I'll look to get back in if I need to. One of the things I want to practice more on is getting out and getting back in. Even if I take these small little cuts, I'm looking to come in and out, in and out, in and out. Swim 420s. We'll look to see if that recovers back. It's back at support. So it doesn't mean it needs to break through the 4. It could recover here and go back to 450. SQQQs trying to make the move above the 10s, now starting to struggle a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put break even on that too. So at this point, I should get that breakout, right? So I'll put it on 2-cent risk, 98s. So pretty much no risk there, looking for the continuation move. If it keeps going, I'll get a nice win. If it doesn't, it's a stop out, pretty much break even, like the smallest stop out there. Looking to see what happens in the Qs overall. The Qs coming down there. The SPY starting to break down back towards the 528. That's why I don't mind this SQQQ on the swing side, because I can take some small profits and then leave the runner on, like maybe like 100 shares overnight to see what happens. If we get continued downside, it wouldn't be too bad out there. Lumen starting to try to come back a little bit there. It doesn't look like it will. We'll see what happens out there. Disney trying to break through that high. Let's see if we can get through that. Let's go. Let's go, Disney. All right, getting the pullback here towards the 10 there on the SQQQ. It could stop me out there, guys, on just a small little pullback there. Got the 998s right as out. But if it just keeps going, it keeps going. Giving myself the opportunity for potential breakdown. Of course, Disney now getting through that high, not looking too bad there. Got towards the 67. Once I get into the 70s and 80s, I do want to take some profits there in Disney and then try to keep the rest running there. We'll see what happens here on Disney. The House of Mouse. All right, gonna go ahead and get ready to take some profits here. Could go to 88.90s. If I see like 88.80s, I don't mind taking it. $88.74s now. Let's get another little spike here on Disney. Come on, Disney. Come on, House of Mouse. There's a prior support that's going to act a little bit as resistance right here in the 70s. Looking for the slight pop above that, and then trying not to be greedy there. But, 75, 80s is not going to be too much of a difference here. So I'm looking to try to get it. Pull back to the VWAP, or the 90 MA, which is 88.41s. Keeping that in mind. Looking for the little pop here on Disney to take some profits. There's 80 on the offer. I'm going to throw it out there as I saw 80 on the offer there for a second there. So I'm throwing it right back on the offer at 80. Let's see if we can get it there. SQQQ just came back, got me at that 98. So we'll see what happens. Market coming back up and continuing strong. Serve starting to bounce a little bit there. So look for maybe potentially some bounces. Still looking at this Disney to get it out at that 88.80s. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it there. It slowed down a little bit off that 74s. But just going to continue to grind it higher, right? We'll see if I can get that nice little push. Up about 70 right now. Could just take the money and run. But looking forward to get towards at least that first profit take. Then I can leave the remainder on the break-even run. Come on, Disney. We'll see what happens there, guys. All right, going to cancel the limit, right? Going to cancel even the stop loss. Just canceling everything out that's out there right now. Looking for the nice little push here into the 1880s, 8880s. And then, of course, I'll take the profits and run, but just not trying to sit there on the offer and just make it a little heavier. Here's 78 on the offer. Looking for a nice little break through the 80s. There's the 80s available to me. There's the 80s, 88s, 84s. Took the profits there, guys. Nice little spike into the higher 88.90s there. Now could take the, another profit there and put myself in the green. What I'm going to do here is just try to let this last remaining 50 work, break even. So if Disney wants to make the move to, let's say, 80, above 89 to 90s, that's going to be the next profit take. But right now, break even. Can't lose on this trade moving forward. Let's keep getting after it. Still down a little bit because I have had 2 losses, but this is what it's all about, right? So let's keep battling. Let's see what I can do and keep trying to take some more trades. I will do another reset here as I should have my kind of set system right back up here. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut this out as I took the trades there. Stop for a second, reassessing here, guys. Let's keep getting after it, guys. It's one of those days. You got to keep battling, man. Got to keep battling. And in a little bit, look to see if we get some swings out there. 1035s. All right, there you go. Now I got access again, guys. So I'm all set now, guys. Got to take a look around to see what else is moving here. Nvidia's down to 104, man. That's a little bit I wonder what's going on there, right? SPY still dropping there. Q's still dropping. If I take a look at the hourly shows me a bunch of red now, guys. So we could start seeing that leak really coming in here. Will we see another run? That's one thing to think about. Q's overall. What's down on the day? Want to see what's down. ARM. Nvidia. Down big, 2%. Micron getting a hit there. A lot of the chip players getting smacked now. So we're seeing some downside there. Just not seeing the follow through. Disney kind of held on that 88.60s pullback. We'll look to see if it keeps riding up there. Shop, did that continue? No, starting to slow down a little bit here. Definitely some topping action off of that. Right at the top here, this 67.61. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 touches off of that 67.61. Now it could start to fade off of this, right? So I'm going to actually look to see a reversal off of shop, right? So I want to see it come back down here. It's already kind of fading off that 67.50s. Would like to see it come back to 67.50s, and then I could get short this, but we'll see what happens. Definitely shorting a strong stock there. Looking to see if the market's going to start to turn around. Serve is another one that I could take a short on this. I still like this one. It's just hanging out there. The only question is, you know, with the spread, sometimes this likes to spread out. So be careful out there, guys. It's about 40 cents on the downside, probably about like 20 cents on the upside. So still 2-to-1 outlook. We'll see what happens there. And Serve, how's that Lumen doing? Starting to come back there off of the 624 reversal. The 7 spot will be the important spot that I'll be watching to see if volume comes in. Swim trying to bounce off that 420. We'll see what happens there. Run pulling back to that 1870s after another run to 19. Did First Solar get going there? Still not really. I mean, it could get going. The pattern's there, but it hasn't made the move, right? The 15-minute pattern here, you guys can see it. It's kind of stuck in this kind of flag pattern right now. Looking to see what happens if it starts to make the move back through the 218. If not, 214 still available on the downside. Shop went back there towards 67.40s, right? 67.40s and failed there. So now I can go ahead and try to come after it a little bit here. I don't mind Shop. A little bit on the downside action here. 67 showed up real quick there. I'm looking for like 67.20s here on a little bit of a pullback here, but it might just flush through the 67s. Yeah, it's coming down fast through that 67. We'll see what happens. Definitely need to watch what happens here off of that Harmy candle. That Harmy was an important one there. $67.15s here, but the moves back is about $20 back. So just got to be careful with that. There's the push back towards the 67.20s here. All right, taking a short there, guys. Just short on Shop here, 67.22s. Looking for that 67.30s to kind of hold here. We'll add if it starts to break down. There it goes towards the 67.13s. Looking for the 67 cut down. That's why I'll take another add and really start trying to add to this. All right, looks like we want to cut through it here. It's still bouncing there, so let's start seeing it cut through the 67 here. That's what I'm looking for. All right, just jumped on it a little bit more here, looking for that cut down through the 67 here. Now I got about 400 shares, so just got to keep that in mind and watch to see what happens here off the 67.30s. Just trying to recover there through the 67.40s. Big layer to watch is this cut down through this trend line. So if we can get back to 67, that's where it starts to really kind of give up here. Down a decent amount there. And it's still down, it was about 75 there at one point. Want to risk about $100 on this trade. Back through 67, and we should start seeing some good cut down. Let's see what happens here through that 67. Also taking a look to see what happens in the overall market. I think that's so important, right? What will happen to there? The SPY is coming back down, trying to find a bounce. It could bounce there and then start to go higher. Disney pulled back to that 88.50s, did get up there towards the 88. So not looking too bad there. We'll see what happens on Shop. Can it get me out here? It is trying there. 67.50s back through the high, and I'm out. There's that move right back towards the 630. So it's definitely chomping around here, guys. Just be careful out there. We'll see what happens on this one. Let's get after it. What's up out there, guys? All right, guys. Adam G, one of the things is look around. There's plenty of traders that have gotten their check. So you might want to take a look at some of those videos from the funded traders. And one thing that I want you to look at, see how those funded traders talk. Are they professional actors? No, man, they're regular traders. Take a look at them. I was looking at one just yesterday and really was kind of interested and blown away by the way that they were going about it. Here's a spike there, though, starting to focus on you guys there, looking back and seeing 58s show up real quick. So got to be careful with a 61 spike here on shop. Could easily happen here, guys. So there's that test there. 58s, 61's going to come real quick here. 63s there on the offer. Hands on the trigger to get out here. There's the spike through the 61s. Let's see if this is just a 1 minute blow off top, but definitely getting caught here. Too big, too fast again, man. Got to make the improvement on that habit. This should have been a nice little 200 position, not the 400 position. Stepped up at the wrong time there. Need to wait till I get into the green to take that size up there. That's the mistake here. Looking to see if it's just a wick blow off top, but definitely getting squeezed here. Got about 1 penny here. I'm going to set it there right now. Just set it there, guys. It's about 250 on the stop side. So we'll see what happens there. It's set there right now. I already set it there at the 79. It's back down towards the 67.50s, but you got to be careful. Got to make improvements on that action. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look around out there. If I do get hit there on that one, it might just be it for me on the day trading account. I just got back to it. Took a big swig there. Probably should have taken it easy, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. SQQQ back to the 997. I'm going to continue to watch this because today is one of those days where it's just trappy and we're getting the chop. So the chop could continue. Disney at least looking interesting for me to continue getting that on the upside. So the swing account still looking good on that Disney trade. Could add here at the 88.50s. But I'm just going to leave that alone. Still betting some on the downside. Betting some on the long side is going to help me. One of these accounts should end up good in the green. We'll find out if Disney can be that one, or maybe it's the cut down right back in shop. We'll find out, guys. Stops already set there, so time to keep working. Lumen coming back there at 4,680s, so definitely LUMN. Take a look at that. We'll see if that starts to come back through 7. Definitely it's working its way back, that's for sure. What's another one out here? Fortinet. Will this one go right back towards 70? How did that VKTX do? Starting to rebound off that bottoming action. Looking around, Upstart, of course, really strong. How did Affirm do off of that big order? Back towards 25.50s, now trying to break through, going towards the 26. Doesn't look bad for scalps. This is moving fast up there. Definitely got some good volume on that 100,000 shares that went through around the 25.60s. Not a bad one there. Big move there. Run. Starting to push there, guys. So First Solar, looking for First Solar to get the lift here. Not bad. It is getting the lift now. Now I can take a look at this one for Run to continue going higher. And then maybe First Solar getting the push there, right? And so 217, 16s leading the way. That gives the room there for Run to run. Haha, point intended. We'll see what happens if it can do a slight little undercut here towards 1890s, but it looks like it wants to take 19 here and start to actually get the sun run charged up and ready to get going. Well, it's definitely strong here. We'll look to see if it makes the breakout attempt. Let me see if I can get one more pullback here into the 1870s. Doesn't look too bad there. All right, guys, definitely seeing the moves all around. Now we're starting to keep playing that chop, right? So there's definitely some chop out there. We'll look to see if we get continued upside action. Run with that Tesla mentioned today. That's not going to hurt it, right? We'll see what happens out there. IRBT, interesting one that I'm seeing making a lift here. iRobot getting a push here. Why? I have no idea, but iRobot, big push there, guys. Serve rejecting that kind of that 1580s back towards the 1560s. All right, you can get your money every 14 days. Can't be mad about that. Yeah, Chris, I've been fixed already, guys. Let's try to reset to see if you're fixed out. All right, taking a look around, guys. Not seeing too much out there. Seeing TGTX starting to push higher. Shop still holding. Apple still holding strong there. Nvidia even coming back a little bit. Amazon ripping. That's what gets me a little bit more concerned about the shop move here. So I got to keep it tight here. Could just break out here, guys. So Amazon ripping there, guys. So Amazon was actually one I was looking on the upside, and that's actually pushing now. It's getting the kind of the sympathy from that shop. Now starting to really push here. Amazon. And Amazon pushing is going to do what? It's going to push the Qs. It's going to push the SPY. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the SPY just come sweeping back to the upside. There it is. There's the Qs starting to sweep back to the upside. That's going to help my Disney trade. Can go taking a look at like scalping Run. Run is just pushing strong now, 1930s. That can maybe even help Tesla start to work its way back, right? If the market's going to start working its way back here and just keep pushing, well, this is actually not a bad one to take a look at either, right? So we'll see what happens there on Tesla. Let's see if it can get back there towards the 200. Start making a little bit of a push here. Upstart, can this just keep pushing there? It is driving back. And Affirm, strong move there in Affirm. So definitely keep your eyes on the stocks now. They're getting a push. And a lot of these are now technology going into green. Remember I told you there was nothing green from the open? And on the hourly basis, now we're starting to get real estate and technology and utilities to start making a nice little up move. So keep your watch on that. Nextera Energy was one that I was watching for continuation. Now that's starting to get back up there off the 9 EMA today, 76.85. Duke was one that we're looking for continuation also. That's actually doing pretty well. Dominion Energy, one that I gave yesterday. Really nice move today, guys. It's hard sometimes to keep up with all these, but look at that one. Dominion Energy looking really nice now. Starting to make a nice little push here. We'll see if it gets there to 56. Doesn't look too bad at least at all to kind of continue this nice little drive. We'll see what happens on Dominion Energy. Can it get to 56 today? All right, definitely probably getting stopped out in this shop. It's pretty close to stopping me out, guys. It's going to be a pretty decent stop out too. Could get out right here, but I'm kind of stuck in it right now. I just have to stop set. If it hits me, it hits me. I'm going to keep going. Looking around to try to make maybe one more nice trade here. BIG getting a little lift today. Big lots, man. Big lots. The dollar stock here. Getting a little bit of a push, but could keep driving higher, right? We'll see what happens. Definitely a smaller name. We'll see if it can keep running there. Run up there to 1926, 1930s. So looking for a pullback below 19s and maybe jump on that one. SUPN doing pretty well there. Swim still showing up there, guys. Swim just put in a big kind of like candle and then came right back down. So let's see what happens with this Swim. Does it want to make the move? Only really one way to find out here, guys. All right, guys, getting, of course, shop to come back down a little bit here, back towards the 67.40. So it's going to be a wicked move right there. It's back to 67.30 something. So at this point, what I need to do on shop, I need to manage here. So I need to manage and go down size. All right, just manage that, guys. My managing, what I did? Well, I'm only down $50 on those 300 shares, back towards 100 shares. So now I can just manage here and focus in. It did do that undercut through that 67.60s. So now the trend line on the upside is where I'd want to see it kind of hold. 67.50s right there is definitely not something I want to see it break. So I'm just going to set it at that 67.61. If it comes back and gets me at the 61, I'm out. But if it comes back below that 67.20s, then we can start to really kind of break down. So just leaving it there, setting it and forgetting it, and trying to manage here, guys. SPY trying to make that big move to the upside and now slowing down. This is going to be the chop that we got to deal with for the rest of the day. Be careful out there, traders. Angie's trying to make another push there. Swim tried to make another push there and just ran into a wall at 430. We'll look to see what happens there. All right, guys, let's keep going, guys. You will get paid once you start making that money, right? Make that money, guys. Let me know. Let me know. All right, guys, let's see what else is out there. IRBT. Okay, iRobot. Big push, man. That thing is just lifted about 5% in about a couple of candles there. Looking around, guys, to see what else is making the move here. Amazon was pushing strong. SPY was trying to take that lift. Apple 213. Their shop coming to get me. So it came back. At least it managed the position. Only lost about 94 versus losing close to 300, right? So I wanted to keep it managed there. About 100 on the loss. That's okay. Because this is still cracked down. It's just what? It's chomping around. It's chopping people out on the up and the downside. So you see how it's a wick there. It's right back. It looks like at any moment, it just wants to drop. This is where it's catching both sides of the trade, the longs and the shorts. SPY at 530s. How's Disney doing there? Disney got through the 89, got there towards 89.25. So it doesn't look too bad right now. Disney not doing too bad there. Of course, on the swing account, I got that. Doing pretty decent. Got up there probably closer towards the 60s. We'll look to see what happens here. Disney. Want to still see it kind of hold the trend line. So there's a trend line that it keeps respecting, and I think that's an important outlook now. Just watch that keep pushing here. So if you look at the 5-minute, you pull back, you see kind of like this upward trend line that we've been kind of respecting here. So that's right there on this trend line, and you can see the 90 EMAs right below that. So you really want to kind of hold on to that. 88.30s is where I'm going to go ahead and set my stop. 88.30s would get me out right now, but I'm looking for this to keep running, but giving myself, make sure that I take profits, right? It's not going to be big profits if I take them at 88.30s, but setting it up there. RVLY or RVLV Revolve Group trying to come back through that 22 and make another run back towards the high of 22.89. Interesting one. I don't know too much about this one. Going back here, guys, of course, got stopped out in shop. I'm going to try to take another trade here before the close, before I get out of here. It's 10:54, guys. It's time to wrap up in just a second here. Let's see what we can come up with. The SPY is just chopping around here, guys. It went back to the top end of the range, now coming back into the middle. So we need to see breaks of range, really. That's what I'm looking for to see what happens here. Swimmy, swim. Will it make the move? I don't know, man. That one's a hard one to judge. Let me see if I see anything on the tape that tells me. All right, big order at 417 and 416. After that, you get your orders up there towards the 430s where you ran into a big seller. That's where I got to be a little bit concerned with swim, but 430s definitely seem to be that area where there's some sizing waiting to get up there and sell into. We'll find out. Another thing is the volume. Look how this has died off, man. Now it's only trading what? On the 5-minute, 105,000 shares. Nothing crazy. Daily, at least reaching into the millions. That's one thing I always look for. That was a big blow off candle. And it's been up there before. It's been up to the 560. Does it want to run to 5 today? Only one way to wait and find out, guys. All right, ADTX. ADTX. Here's a smaller one trying to make a pop here, guys. It's been up there towards the 190s, just pulled back to the 163, now back to 178. Can this one just keep stair-stepping higher? Definitely has some resistance up here into the 194s and $2 spots, but ADTX pushing strong there. VCYT up there towards 29. Nice little VWAP bounce on this thing. This thing could pull back here, and it could be a quick little pullback on this. I kind of like this outlook here. It's been a really strong stock, but now has started to turn around, and you see how it's held the 90 EMA multiple times. Now you're starting to crack that 90 EMA. I kind of like this guy, so I'm going to try to take one on this one. Got to be quick, though. All right, let's see if I can go ahead and get this one, guys. I'm going to take a little bit of a shot here on the starter and then look to add on this short there, VCYT. Just trying to do a little bit of a what I call mean reversion trade back down towards the 28 and to the VWAP 2740s here. If it goes back through that high, that's 2935s. That's kind of the out right now. We'll see what happens here on the move back down, cracking through the VWAP. Let's see what happens there. The big thing is it cracked the 9, and it's cracked the 9 before, recovered it 3 times. Usually on that 4th time, it doesn't get the recovery. So looking to see what happens here. The spread is widening out, so that's where you got to be a little bit careful. But if it cuts 29, we could just keep getting after it here. Let's see what happens. I'm going to let it cut 29 first and then look for 29s on pushes back. So not overreacting, trying to be early, but still small, and then look for the ad. We'll see what happens out there. Not much though, man. It's been a little bit of a choppy day, man. Just a little bit, guys, right? So we'll continue to watch this. Let me go ahead and set the stop here, making sure that I don't get triggered while I go to take a look at Disney really quickly. Probably going to put 2950s out here. Let's do 2948s. All right, so I just put it out there, 2948s, 49s actually I got out there right now. We'll see if it does come back here. 2935s is the high. Giving myself a little bit of range on this, but it could come back to get me. We'll see what happens on this one. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's take a look around. Back through 29 will be the layer to kind of add on that. We'll see if I get that add layer. Disney still holding in there. We'll see how Disney does. It's at 88.50s, but pulling back here, so could get me out in just a second here. And I'll take the money and run in Disney at the 88.30s. That's when I'll get out on that, and they could come back to the VWAP 88. We'll see in the overall market. Will we continue to grind higher? We are grinding higher, but if you take a look at the today's daily action, it's pretty much since the open gone nowhere, guys. The open was 531.59. We're at what? We're at 530.50. We're down 50 cents. So it's still like trying to just get volume. So it's collecting volume, getting people to try to get in it. Serve fell off the cliff there, Shane. It was interesting for me for the short side on Serve, right? It was interesting for me off that 1558. It's down to 1530s. This was the trade. I was talking about from 1580s to 1540s, but Serve loves to just come back too. So when I get these quick down moves, I like to take some profits into Serve because I've seen Serve go big green on me, and then all of a sudden it start coming back, and I start feeling like I'm fighting the tape. Why? Because the low volume. The low volume in this just sometimes really starts to hurt you. All right, we'll see what happens on that one. Definitely getting close to stopping out. I think I just got triggered there in VYCT. Pretty close, guys. I got like 1 penny here. I'm going to give myself a little bit here, but I have a feeling I'll get triggered out. The spread is widening out, trying to get me here. I just put it towards 55s just to give myself a tiny bit, but this VCYT, I don't know why that one's so hard for me to say, but definitely it looks like it's about to trigger me out there. And that's going to probably do it, guys. Like always, guys, we're going to keep battling. We'll see what happens in the swing trade account with that Disney. We'll see what happens on that VCYT. And maybe I'll take some trades later in the day today to see if we get a cut down in the market. We're going to keep battling like always. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview today, guys. Definitely got to thank Mustafa. Great interview. If you guys didn't catch that interview, please rewind and check that out, guys. We'll see what happens here. Definitely, my camera's a little faded out. Well, we'll see what happens, guys. It's been that type of day. Keep battling in the markets. Like always, we don't have one way to win. There's plenty of different ways. You got to build those rules like Mustafa talked about and keep building the discipline, right? I wish you guys the best, guys. Keep battling like always. We'll see what else is out there. And tell Trade the Pool to give you a job, future day trader. Well, reach out to us, right? We always got great positions. We're always bringing on great talent. Smash the like. I'll see you guys next time right here. Of course, Trade the Pool, guys. The only question is, who's getting out of the pool today? I know right now I'm okay in the swing. Day trade is still down a little bit. Going to keep battling like always, guys. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Keep getting after it, team. There's only one way, and that's to keep battling. Stay safe out there, control your process, and keep focusing on that execution. We'll see you back tomorrow.